Welcome into the Strick podcast, episode number 304, baby.
Yeah. Yike. And you know what? I am drinking today. I'm drinking one named Cowboy Coolers. Coolers Light right here. Because actually somebody's like, fuck, Cam, I can't, you need to say yoink a little bit more. You're not saying yoink enough. You stop drinking. And I'm like, well, no. But I kind of chilled out on the pod a little bit with the drinking because I was watching film of me. And every time the camera goes on me, I'm fucking pouring a beer. I'm like, Jesus, calm down a little bit. You know what I mean? But today I'm just going to have a couple, baby. And we're going to do a couple more yoinks for you. So there you go. That's what you're going to get, man.
You're watching film.
What?
You're watching film. So you're saying you like breaking it down?
Well, Well, when I rewatch it, I'll see like, God, or somebody like, Jesus, Cam, you got a lot of, you drink it? I'm like, well, yeah, I mean,
listen,
so I got to show a little bit.
I'm dealing with some soft tissue injuries today. So
what happened to you, man? Are you okay?
So if I have trouble, just, like my hammies, my groins. Would you skate? Just stuff like that. Oh, yeah,
you had a game, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a game.
You had a game. Andy skated with us, too, with the alumni, too.
I did.
But he missed out 22 minutes of the hour-long session because he was on a radio call and everybody was chirping him. Because you need, like, there's only so many people out there and you need everybody, like everybody gets tired quick, man. It's only like maybe at the most 2 lines on each team. And Andy, of course, comes out and he's got to be like, hey, I got things to do. And he goes out and while the time he's out, I'm trying to like dominate because Andy doesn't come out and skate with me that much anymore. So I wouldn't show off to him. I'm scoring goals left and right. I'm like, where the fuck is he? And he's out there talking on the phone.
You lost your stamina by the time I came back because
I was dominating.
I was all this talk about I will say this. It's not. I shouldn't even say this. Maybe I
didn't say it. You're okay. Just say it. Jeez.
I hate when you say yes to specific radio shows because you're loyal to them. They're very good at what they do. They've got a big following. They've been doing this for a long time. Maybe they'll help you out. You go on to their show to help them out.
Of course.
And then so you say yes to the producer, and then you go on the show, and they're like on holiday. They're on vacation, and you're not even talking to them. So you're talking to like the board op who's like asking the questions,
Yeah.
So no, I'm not saying that's what happened, but it was a long interview. Like we just went on and on
30
and on.
minutes.
So I had to like step away. But listen, a lot of interest right now going on in these offer sheets. So I had to talk
no doubt
about that. But they did a great job with you. I'm not chirping the interview, the questions or anything like that. But I thought I was going on. I thought I was saying yes.
Well, like when you commit to playing hockey with you need to play the whole game.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are like fucking bashing you.
Well,
like,
sometimes you like lose a tooth or have to go get stitches. You just like leave the bench for a few minutes. Yeah,
but like, an interview.
But that happens though.
You should have just
if you get like a puck in the face. Yeah. Oh, this guy got a puck in the face in the game.
What game?
My game, which was at a very high level, very, very good pace.
Oh, yeah? You want to go down this road? I'm warning you. Listen, all you out there, go ahead, Andy. Now, I knew he was going to do this. Andy got to play in a game against the Blues Warriors with a bunch of a bunch of military that started playing hockey again. Yeah. But go ahead.
They're always great games.
I'm warning you.
They're always great games.
I'm warning you, but go ahead.
And they were great.
You want to go down this road? You sure?
But I'm telling you, somebody took a puck in the face.
Are you sure you want to go down this road?
Which road?
The Blues Warrior road. You sure you want to brag?
I'm just saying someone took a puck in the face. Another guy ran into a player on the other team, busted his face open. I took a high stick to the face.
Where at?
Didn't miss a shift.
Where at?
Well, my visor. Caught my visor.
You got the big bubble on.
No, visor.
Yeah. It goes down to fucking...
No, it's not one of those.
Yeah, it's one of those early 90s visors that goes onto his chin.
No, it's a half shield.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you for that, actually, because...
I mean, some of these guys, and you know who they are, and, they grew up playing at a high level. They play pro hockey and whatever, and they go out there, no visor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's a smart idea. Like, if you're not getting paid to play, like, I don't know if I'd go out there and just risk losing a bunch of teeth and taking a stick in the eye.
Yeah, I get that. I completely get that.
Who wants to get hurt out there?
Nobody. Why'd you start wearing shoulder pads now then?
A year ago, I started wearing them. In fact, they still have the tag on them.
Yeah, you should wear shoulder pads.
I look goofy with shoulder pads.
You look goofy anyway. You think you look goofy without shoulder pads on? You have no shoulders.
Everything I have right now is like...
So what happened in the game?
Hand-me-down types. So the pants don't fit right. The jersey doesn't come down right.
Go ahead and get it out of the way. What happened in the game? Go ahead.
Well, you want to start with the alumni skate or you want to start with the game?
The alumni skate doesn't matter. Go ahead.
I think we did pretty good in the alumni skate too.
No, although we won every game, but go ahead.
When I went on the radio show, they were asking questions. They were like, "Oh, what alumni are out there?" I said, "Holy and McInnes."
Shanahan.
They're like, "Can McInnes still wind it up?" And I couldn't. I had to say I was joking. But they ask great questions too. And again, now we're all anticipating today. And this is what sucks. The deadline's 9:30 a.m.
So you're not going to get into the game.
Oh, let's get into it. We won the game. I think it was 6-2 final, something like that. Our goalie played great. We had a great system.
Because I thought you were going to be braggadocious, and I was going to get you. But are you not? We going into the fucking offer sheets now?
Oh,
because you said that we're going to talk about your goal for a fucking. And I was going to have a rebuttal. So go ahead.
Cam was mad.
And brag about yourself.
Cam was
quick.
mad because he came a little early today. And I came right on time, but he came a little bit early.
Always come early.
And I said to him in a text, I said, well, we're just going to spend half the show talking about my game. So he didn't like that.
So what happened in the game?
Joking.
What were we going to talk about in the game?
So, no, we got off to a good start. Actually, I think the guys came out and played hard in the first period.
Don't bullshit.
No, they did.
Andy scored a goal. I'll set it up. Andy was so excited about this goal, and he posted on Insta Story. And I'm just thinking, like, that guy is missing a limb.
Okay, can I just explain?
Yeah.
First off, I didn't text you about it that night.
Oh, yeah. Everybody else treats you like a child. They're like, hey, Cam, Andy scored a goal.
Yeah, so they put me on this group text. Cam responds in the morning, send it to me. So, okay, so an hour later, I send it to him. I go up and I clip it off and I send it to him. Actually, I had somebody send it to me because I didn't have the thing. So somebody sends it to me. I send it to you. And then, true story.
Yeah.
So my buddy Connor Dunlop and Steve Ott, who also played. We weren't on the same line, but
Otter was probably like
they try to balance the lines out.
Yeah.
So you don't want to like load up on one line. You want to balance it out. So they were like, we better see this on your Instagram tomorrow. So
they forced.
I should show you the text messages.
Why would you listen to them?
So funny.
Why would you listen to them?
Oh man, it's funny. It's honestly, it's funny.
Braggadocious against a team.
Braggadocious.
You literally clipped off a live barn on your fucking. What are you talking? You would have chirped the shit out of me for doing that. I would never do that, but you did it, and then you're bragging about it, walking in here, and I'm like, I'm gonna get you. Then you backed off about it because you knew I was gonna. You knew I was gonna say something to put you in your place, like I just did.
I should post the goal I scored in the alumni game too. I haven't put that one up yet.
That's fine. You're playing against guys that are playing. Like these guys have like literally like
dude, the Warriors
just playing
can play. They can absolutely play.
One guy doesn't have a hand.
But have you played in?
I played in all those things.
Yeah,
dude.
no, like against like the Warriors.
Yes, all of them.
But you're not. They're good, dude.
And I'm not
going to practice a lot. They practice often. They got some good players, dude. And they play their ass off. They play hard. I give them all the credit, dude. They bring it, dude. They really do.
Posted it on Insta.
They really do. It's a hell of a game.
Get out of here.
It's a hell of a. You know what?
I have to chirp you for that. I'm sorry. I love you, Dad.
That may be my final game of my life.
It's not going to make a difference.
No, it just might be. I hope not.
I like skating with you. You know.
I hope not because. But I'm just saying the only time I
poor guy had a peg leg. Seriously, and Andy walks him.
You do not know that.
Andy walks him, and literally, probably guy's like, God damn it. He's probably pissed off. And all of a sudden, he goes on Instagram, and he sees Andy walking up, bragging about it. Like, I got to chirp you. It's all good. I got to chirp you for that.
The guys were like, you got to post that.
Yeah, they're bullshitting you.
The bench went crazy.
They're bullshitting you. They all scored, too. Did they post it?
The bench went crazy.
Okay. Poor guy.
Could you imagine how
He's just trying to stay up, man.
Can you imagine how the bench reacted?
Poor guy's like, fuck, my leg hurts.
Could you imagine how the bench reacted?
Yeah, they're probably like, look, good boy. Good little boy. Good God. It's all good, man. Shit. So what's up with this god dang offer sheets? I like it, man. Good, Doug. You got to get a little aggressive, and he did.
You're not chirping my game, though.
No, I'm chirping your post.
No, you're not. I went hard into the boards once in the game with the alumni.
Lucky I didn't clip that off.
And we could have
blew a fucking tire.
You asked for it actually from somebody.
I'm not doing that.
You asked.
The only time
somebody send that to me.
Andy fucking blew a tire so bad.
Everybody does that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean it happens.
Everybody blows tires.
I just blew a tire.
You blew a tire.
I hadn't used my sparks
and
yet.
You ran into the boards 100 miles an hour. Thank God I forced him to wear shoulder pads. It's funny when I tell Andy something, he actually does it. Andy, let's see. Nope, he's not wearing sandals today. Funny how that works. Now he wears shoulder pads. Funny how that works. Mm-hmm. But Andy blew a tire and fell on the boards 100 miles an hour. We're all like, whoa, fuck. And he popped up. We're like, okay, we started laughing. Mm-hmm. But at the beginning, I'm like, God, dude. I mean, you scrunched into the boards hard there.
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
Look bad.
Yeah, look bad.
Looked bad.
Sounded bad. But it wasn't bad.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Look, and then you were fine. We're like, okay, good.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that
It's
bad.
scary. Ice hockey's scary. I told you so. You get hurt more in ice hockey than any other sport. There's more variables, man. Like there are. Way more. What are you looking at your phone for?
I have to. Today's that day, man.
Then tell me about what's going on. Let's go.
I have to
Let's
check
go.
the phone because I don't know how serious these potential text messages coming in are.
What do you think's going
And
to
I
happen?
may have to take a phone call, Cam. I may have to step outside today.
No, you don't need
No,
to.
I
Right
may
now.
have to.
Why right now?
Mhm.
To get what? To tweet something out?
Well, just to get some information.
Yeah. So do it after we're done with our business.
Uh-huh.
You respect me.
Yeah,
a
but
little
if
bit,
I
too.
get something of interest, I want to present it to
What
our
if
audience.
I get a text from somebody?
You got to take it.
What if I?
You got to take. If it's
Hey, what do we?
no, that's not a text I would take.
What's the difference?
If it's about the offer sheets.
What if it's my dad, and he needs something at the house?
Well,
Should
dude,
I pick it up?
If you have to judge that on your own as to
Well, I'm
what's
just saying,
important,
like, come on.
I'm not answering calls from the wife or from my
She ain't calling you right now.
neighbors or something.
She's doing yoga.
She's going to work out.
She's doing.
We just had school drop off
Which
today.
yeah, first day of school. That's nice.
Mhm. Everything's kind of started now. You know, the hockey season started. My daughter started her
Let me
new
ask you something.
soccer team too. Yeah,
When you went
first trip of the
you
weekend.
got 3 kids.
Yeah.
When you went to wherever you needed to go to get all their school supplies
Uh-huh.
and their clothes and stuff, were you like, God damn, things are expensive?
Well, yeah, because everything's expensive, but Chloe's got expensive taste and stuff like that. But she convinces her grandma to
she's
take her
older.
shopping and stuff
Okay,
like that.
there
That
it
happens
is.
all the time.
There it is.
Will
That's
you
what happened
take
with
me
Kate now.
shopping?
Yep.
And so they'll do that.
But
But
it's expensive, man.
yeah, but nowadays, and I didn't realize this, because that's not my area at the house. I don't do the school supplies and all that.
No.
Okay.
No, that's
But you order them online, and they deliver them to you in a big box. Everything you need for that specific class.
yeah.
So then you just take it to school.
Okay.
But my oldest is in 8th grade. She doesn't have school supplies. She probably has what she needs in her backpack.
Okay.
But she's not bringing Kleenex and pencils and erasers and glue.
What is it? What's the new thing that they get now?
I don't even know. I didn't look inside of it.
Yeah. I just was talking to some of my buddies that
Mhm.
have 3 kids too, and they're grinding it, man.
Yeah.
They're grinding it.
Clothes are expensive.
And I
dude,
go,
for
God,
sure.
dude, I go, is it tough right now? They're like, dude, it's so tough.
So tough.
He's like, I don't know how people don't live paycheck to paycheck.
Do you know
Most people. If you make over 300 grand a year, you're okay. 350, fine.
Yeah, but
But if you don't and you have 3 kids and they're all in sports
Mhm.
and you have bills piled up and stuff like that, it's tough.
I read
It's tough.
an article. It was probably in the Wall Street Journal or somewhere. Very
You haven't even looked at the Wall Street Journal ever.
no,
in
it
your
was
life.
probably one of those, maybe the Washington Post or something.
The Washington Compost.
What's the most academic journal that's out
Wall
there?
Street, probably.
Yeah, well, that's where it was probably that I read this.
What-
But that the majority of people making $200,000 or more are living paycheck to paycheck.
that's what I just
I
explained.
shouldn't
to
say
you.
or more, but people who are averaging
That's what I explained
making
to you.
$200,000 a year
It's crazy.
are living paycheck to paycheck.
Paycheck to paycheck. And there's nothing wrong with that,
Mhm.
but it is stressful.
Mhm.
It's stressful. Like, did that just happen in the last 5-6 years? I don't know. Like, I just feel like, and look, I'm not in the game. I don't have kids. Kate and I are doing okay. Like, we're fine. Like, we don't have many bills. Our house is fine.
Dude, if we
Da-da-da.
didn't have kids,
Oh my
I'd
God.
be doing this on remote from probably
Well, I wouldn't do it with you.
Kauai or something like that.
No, you wouldn't have that much money.
Probably have a house in Colorado.
No, you wouldn't.
No,
No, you're not making that much.
you're still
money.
paying.
You would be more. You would do the same thing, but you would just have a little bit more money in your pocket.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, you think you can go to Colorado and fucking live because you don't have 3 kids? You're out of your damn mind.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Think about that.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
We got to sell a little bit more on the
Yeah,
podcast
yeah,
for you to even
yeah.
think
Okay.
that way.
Okay.
You're a little bit out of touch with
Okay.
that. A little bit out of touch. But I'm just saying, listen, all you guys, man.
People live in Colorado who make way less money.
Yeah, and they live in a shanty. They're not in the fucking mountains. This
Okay.
is what you're talking about. You're
Uh-huh.
like, I'm going to be in Aspen. No, you're not. Yeah, goddamn no way in fucking hell. My point is, all you guys out there, man, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, don't think you're on an island.
Mhm.
Just don't think you're on an island, man. And all these people that post all this stuff and they're braggadocious about how much money they make, I'm telling you, more people are struggling than you think. You're not on an island by yourself. So don't let that fucking bother you as much as it should.
That's good advice. I'm glad that you.
Or as much
and
as it's
people
it's
probably
happening.
find that very comforting that you just said that to them.
man.
Actually,
You're damn right.
You know.
Don't worry about it. You'll
Yeah.
crawl out of it. It's all going to work out. But a lot of people that you see that you think are on a higher pedestal with finance, they are struggling too.
So I'm thinking about starting a social media platform where people only post real shit. Okay.
Elon.
No, they post like their struggles. Like, I can't afford my, phone bill this week, this month.
Like a Instagram of negativity. We've talked about this before.
Instagram of reality negativity, not just trying to like be negative. Like, don't be no hate, nothing like that. But like,
I know.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, like posting like, I can't afford my mortgage this month.
I know.
Or
like
my kid is being bullied at school.
Yeah.
Or my kid just got cut from the baseball team. Or
but no one cares about that.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
My kid got cut from the baseball team because he's not good. Like, good God, that's what I don't want to see. Mm-hmm. My kid got cut. I don't know what to do. We talk about this every single time. Mm-hmm. Like, well, what was his batting average? .78.
Well,
can he play? Can he catch? Well, he's not very good at catching. Well, where do they play? What positions do he play? Well, he can't play that. He can't play that. He can't. Well, no shit, he didn't make the team. I don't care about that.
What about the?
It's like, no, I can't afford. We can't afford a travel team because I can't afford it.
Well, yeah, there you go.
There it is. I can't afford a goddamn travel team. My kid's good enough to
create an account. I'll give you a handle right now.
But you're out of touch.
No, at Cam.
You're out of touch.
At Cam, you can go ahead and post some things.
Coolers lots. Coolers.
That's not a sponsor.
All right, they should be.
Although we're trying to get them, actually. They will be a sponsor.
I told you.
We just heard from them the other day.
Molson.
Yeah, we just heard a song.
I'll drink the shit out of that Molson. I love Canadian beer so goddamn much. I love it. I love it. It gets you drunk.
What makes the difference? What's the difference?
It's fucking more alcohol in it. It's more alcohol in it.
Normally,
it's thicker. It's great.
I'm a vodka drinker.
Yeah.
Or like I like a good glass of wine, and stuff like that.
Me too. Me too.
But Saturday night, I drank Busch Light for the first time, really, all my life.
For the mountains.
Not the first time I ever had a Busch Light.
Were you at the Creve Coeur? Did they let that in Creve Coeur Club?
No, it wasn't there. I was at a fundraiser.
Good for you.
Yeah. So
were you like this?
No, I was like, damn, that's pretty damn good.
Bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's Busch Light.
I've had Busch Light
my daddy used to
many
drink
times over.
Busch
but it's the first time that I kind of just like dedicated my night to it.
Busch Light ain't bad.
No.
It ain't bad.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you right now, which is not good, you could take Coolers, Miller, Busch Light,
and blindfold.
Bud Light, blindfold me. I'll know exactly the difference.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll do that next week.
That'd be hilarious.
I don't know what Mike Greer's doing though. The GM of the San Jose Sharks. You know Mike Greer?
Greer's man.
Yeah,
he's a good player.
Yeah,
played a long time.
Yeah, BU
had a big.
You know who he was? You know who he was drafted by?
Was it Edmonton?
Nope.
Okay. Was it the Blues?
Yes. I remember. I gotta check, maybe the 9th round or something.
Oh wow! But he dominated college.
Yeah, but a lot of those guys, back when they had 9 rounds.
Yeah. 7 though.
Let me just double check when he was. But I remember breaking it down at the pool. I was in like middle school, and even back then, Kim, I was just breaking things down in terms of organizational depth and stuff like that.
You're good at that.
Yeah. I'm
not chirping you for that.
Okay.
I'm chirping you for posting about walking a guy with one leg.
Well, I don't know if that was the case on that situation.
But that's the team that has.
Okay, but you're assuming. Yeah, 9th round, 1993 by the Blues, and the Blues had just traded, for Chris Pronger. They traded Brendan Shanahan to Hartford.
Oh wow!
For Chris Pronger.
97.
No,
95.
I was like in middle school, man. So whatever.
95.
Yeah,
something like that.
So people at the pool, other kids and stuff like that, and they're saying like, hey, terrible trade. What are you trading Shanahan for? Everyone was upset about it, right?
Oh, they hated
people
Pronger
were not
for
happy
a long
about it.
time here, man.
Well, he hadn't even come here yet, and they didn't know who Pronger was, and they didn't know what he was going to be. Long before he became a influencer on social media.
Yeah. I watch him. I love Pronger, man. He's a smart dude.
Is he doing all those at once, you think?
I don't.
Is he doing them like day by day, dude? He's got like a studio set up.
He could do
very informational, dude. Follow Chris Pronger's Instagram for sure.
We love him. He's on our team.
Dude, hell yeah.
He's our boy, man.
He's chirped me enough over the years.
Yes, he has. You chirp me, he'll chirp all of us, but he loves us.
It's so funny because he was chirping me, and I got a guy comes up to me and he's like, "Oh, everyone in the locker room was like wondering why he hates you so much. I was like, what? So I texted Prongs. I was like, dude, like people like really read into it.
No, he hates people that.
So I sent his response to some people being like, dude, he's joking.
He's joking. Like he's a smart ass.
That's right.
He's a king, and he's going to do what he wants with the media because he can. But if he doesn't talk to you, that means he doesn't like you. When he chirps you, that means he does like you. That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Just like when you're in like middle school or like elementary school, and you're like you like a girl, but you don't know how to react to her, so you're kind of chirp her a little bit like a child. Like that's what he's doing to you.
See, I would tell my daughter if she came home being like so and so. I'm like, that's because he likes you.
100.
That's why he's doing that.
100%.
So he's like trying to. Like,
I used to do the
that's
same
his
thing.
way of. They're nervous. They don't know what to
do.
say. They don't know exactly.
You're
So that
intimidating.
means he likes you. That's why he's doing that.
And he'll grow out of that, and all of a sudden he's going to realize how to be nicer and talkative and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at that age, man, like you don't know what to do. Like,
No.
So I get that, but that's exactly what he's doing.
So anyway, so I told the kids at the pool. I said, "Hey, listen, this trade's okay. You get a potential franchise defenseman who's going to win a Norris, and you have Mike Greer in the organization, who's that next power forward."
Yeah, which he would be.
I know.
He was good.
And then it just didn't work out.
What was his stats?
He got traded.
What did he do? Greersy.
He may have been involved. I'm trying to think what deal he was involved in when he got traded to Edmonton, or how that worked out, because he never played for St. Louis and began his career coming out of college, where he was a stud for Boston University.
He was crushing guys
used
too.
To kill guys.
I know. I saw some clips of him.
But I mean, he even put up like over 50 points. He had 29 goals in college, dude. That's
29 goals in what, 38 games?
37.
It's pretty dang
good.
good.
And then he had 21 the year after that.
Pretty dang good.
Anyway,
what's going on?
But he played over 1,000 games.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah. Probably didn't develop into the offensive player that maybe people had projected for him. But, he stuck around for over 1,000 games.
I'd take him.
And now he's doing his thing.
Okay, what is
I like a lot of people inside the San Jose organization.
So do I. And I would like to be in his position right now.
I don't like this trade for Cody Ceci yesterday on a Sunday. Like, the deadline's not till Tuesday morning. I really thought they should have pushed for a better pick. I mean, I don't know, is this a need for San Jose to get Cody Ceci? He didn't play great this past year. I know he's making a little over $3 million. You're helping Edmonton out, right? So maybe there's some type of agreement down the road that they're going to, we'll see how this plays out in the future.
There it is, yeah.
Who knows? You never know what's being discussed.
Yeah.
But I thought that if I was San Jose and knowing the situation that Edmonton is in, I would want a first or a second round pick to take a contract off your hands to help you out. You better attach a second round pick at least
to get you out of a
They
jam.
get a third on Sunday. I'd say, no, I'll hold off. Let's revisit this tomorrow night, maybe even Tuesday morning to see if I can get the second.
Andy, I agree with you 100%.
So,
but there's more to it.
Mm-hmm. You think there is?
Yes.
Yeah.
They have an agreement.
Yeah.
They know each other.
Yeah. And so a lot of people are suggesting, hey, now by removing Edmonton removing themselves from Cody Ceci's contract,
$3 million.
They bring, Ty Emerson on board, who makes under $1 million. So, you're saving a couple million there.
And he did play for Chuck Knobloch.
Chris Knobloch, yeah.
Chris Knobloch.
In Hartford.
I said Chuck on purpose, so you know, in Hartford. And he won an award. He did stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So they're connected as
He's
well.
on his, fourth team right now or something.
That ain't good.
No, I mean, because he was drafted
Was he banged up?
I don't know.
Because if he's not banged up and he's on his fourth team, that's a different animal than when you are banged up and you're in your fourth team.
Yeah, Ty Emerson. He was drafted by Arizona originally. Went to Wisconsin. He was captain there his last season, as I remember.
Yeah.
But he's only played 30 NHL games. So, listen, he's a guy that Edmonton could still probably send down if they wanted to.
There's another thing.
And there's some other options they have. They got the kid, the Russian.
Yeah, what's his...
who was a top 10 pick from the Vancouver Canucks.
That's right.
Podolzin, however you pronounce that. But he was a phenom coming into his draft year. Everyone's talking about him. Expected him to be like this offensive juggernaut. And he hasn't turned into that either. You know what I mean? So...
there's more to it than you think. You know that, Andy. Right?
Well, you would think. I mean, I would hope so in this particular.
So what do you think's going to happen with the Blues? And now this is coming out Tuesday, and everything's going to be, discussed at 8:30 Central Time tomorrow, which today, when you listen to me right now, would be today. So Andy and I are still kind of figuring out what's going to happen, but I don't mind that, and I kind of want this to happen more often.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I want this to happen more often.
What, the offer sheet?
Yeah. I just put some spice into things, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I truly, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Vasily Podkolzin.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
I always got to look at how you pronounce it by looking at the name. But,
Yeah.
he was a 10th overall pick. He was expected to be some big, offensive player. He's only played 137 games, and he's got 18 goals in 137 games. He's played a lot of games in the American League. Played 44 games in the American League last year.
How many goals?
15 goals last year in the American League.
There's a lot of 15-goal guys in 44 games in the American League that came up and
people trying
played
to chirp
well.
like Patty Maroon, for example, who's about to hit 800 games. This guy was scoring 30 goals in the American League. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was.
He scored 29 one year. He had 30. I looked at Patty's stats the other day in the American League.
Dominated.
He had like 30 plus one year, scored 29 another year.
Yeah,
I mean,
good.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Guys belong in the NHL.
But I do feel like if you look up some of the stats of some of these like grinding guys, these grinding guys, like the third line guys on the Devils back in the day, like you look at them in the American League and they didn't do much. They were just solid.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they came up, they were in a right system, and they figured it out and they became fucking, 15-year veterans.
Yeah. So anyway, I would not have looked at it that way. If I was San Jose, I would have waited.
Smoking?
I would have. No, I'm just choking. I don't know what I'm choking on.
On what?
I'm on video.
What are you
People can
choking on?
watch to see. Just choking.
You got monkeypox?
No, it's probably something related to.
Hey, Maddie. Monkeypox?
Hey, it's probably something related to my game or something, but just still from battling in the corner.
Why don't you post another highlight reel of you playing against the Warriors? Post some more.
Some great plays on the odd man rushes.
Oh, my God. That's funny, man. It's all good.
We had a good team, man.
You had a good team. Those poor guys.
I'll give our goalie, Mark Torrente, a shout out. Made some huge saves. Matt Lashoff came to play. Had some good first
Where's
passes.
he been, man? I haven't seen Lashley in a long time.
He's working.
He works his ass off.
Jordy Fox,
Yeah.
solid in the back end. Made a lot of good play. In fact, he got the assist on my goal cam. I'll give my boy Connor Dunlop a shout out because he was captain of the World Junior team for USA years ago,
Yeah.
and he had not put equipment on him forever, and he can still play.
Was he on the ice?
Yeah.
Skating with kids and stuff like that all the
Well,
time?
if you want to call it that, yeah.
What do you mean? Like, this is what Andy thinks, like, Andy's like, fuck, I haven't skated forever. Bitch, you're on the ice every fucking day with kids sticking around. What are you fucking talking about?
You know what I'm
go
doing?
dig ditches and then go on the ice after fucking 5 months.
You know what I'm doing?
You're on the ice every fucking night.
You're right, because that does.
Yeah,
But
I
you
am
know,
right.
you know what else I'm doing? I'm playing in the garage every day. I'm playing in
I know,
the
you have-
basement every
You're
day.
stick handling
Yeah,
all day long.
yeah.
You're doing more hockey stuff than anybody.
Right.
So then Andy comes out and he told pictures. I haven't skated forever. Yeah, you did. You're on the ice 5 times a fucking
Oh
week.
my God.
Get on with
So this offer sheet, I know some people have characterized Doug Armstrong as being like ruthless and whatever, but I don't think he's ruthless. I think he's transactional. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, and I know what they mean by that, being like he doesn't get emotionally invested and he's going to do what's best for his team, which is what he's doing. This is another avenue to do so. Like, listen, it's hard to attract free agents. We've said that so many times, to specific cities. Everyone wants to play in specific cities. We know who those teams are. They're either the tax-free states, the original 6 teams, the Canadian teams. You know, those are the teams that it seems like the majority of free agents want to go to, and then the rest of the group is just kind of left over. So this is a legal route you can take. Now, I've said several times, I think I was probably the first one to say it, that, hey, yeah, the relationship between Doug Armstrong and Kenny Holland, that would certainly come into play if Kenny Holland was still there, but he's not. So maybe that opened the door for Doug Armstrong to go ahead and, sign these guys to the offer sheets. You have a situation here with the agent for Philip Broberg, who I don't think was happy about how slow the development process had been taking in Edmonton. The fact that he only played, 12 regular season games last season? And then I think he played another 10 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And he proved in the Stanley Cup playoffs that this guy 100% belongs in the NHL and probably should have been there all season long. But, he's played.
How old is he?
He's played 81 games in his NHL career, 12 games this past season.
How old is he?
10 games in the playoffs, and he's 22 years old.
All right, he's a young kid.
23
man.
years old.
He's a young kid.
23 years old.
Yeah, okay.
But, if the Blues would have offered $1 more, it would have turned into the compensation would have been increased to at least involve a first-round pick.
Really?
And I think Doug Armstrong wants to hold on to his first-round picks. I think he wants to make a legitimate run at it. And if they don't get him, listen, there's really no risk. At the end of the day, Edmonton obviously is going to have to pay these guys more money. But you're making these offer sheets for one reason and one reason only, and that is to get the players. You have a need for the players. You got a defenseman, obviously, who could slide right in on the left side and probably play with Colton Parayko in your top pair. You know, and so even if you're paying him $4.5, his role on the team would probably value a $4.5 million salary, even though his service time wouldn't certainly point towards making that much money right now. And in the Holloway situation, Dylan Holloway, you know, he's a big body who's just scratching the surface offensively. You put him on a line with Braden Shen. I mean, like, you know, maybe
options.
If Neighbors can flip over to play the other side. I mean, you got some big bodies who can skate and still generate some offense.
I don't want a GM that pussyfoots around and says, I like the other GM. We're drinking buddies. We're friends.
No balls.
I'm not. No balls. Fuck him. It's about St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
It's about this goddamn team. It's about this organization. Yeah. It's about this city. I don't get. We're all friends. We'll be friends after. Yeah. This is fucking business.
Could you imagine being an owner and being like, "Wait, we could have had that guy, but we didn't
because you guys
played
friends?
Poker with him."
Are you out of your fucking mind? No. Be aggressive.
Be aggressive.
You guys make up later. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You worry about one thing only, and that's St. Louis and this organization.
But I think
and
there
fans.
is some type of code among GMs. Maybe it's an
this
unwritten
isn't it,
rule.
though.
Yeah.
This isn't it. You're in a jam. You put yourself in a jam. You almost won the cup. No, we're going to throw 2 offer sheets at you.
And if I'm a GM, I would say, you go sign your McDavids and your Drysaddles and Bouchards.
Yeah.
You already been given all these first overall picks, and you got McDavid. GMs didn't love the fact that Edmonton got McDavid to begin with.
No shit.
You know, after having all these other first overall picks.
Fuck you.
And they got handed McDavid, and we're supposed to help you.
We're drinking buddies. I'm not doing this. No.
Yeah.
No, the fans here are like, no. Be aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
We just talked about no one wants to sign here, not big free agent. We got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if you're friends.
I'm always hesitant to say that because when players come here, they love playing here. And that's just
when they come here.
When they come here.
When they come here, they're like, I'll re-sign here.
Yeah.
But to get him here, it's just that's an obvious thing. And
well, and let's point it out and kind of break it down for what it is with Philip Broberg, right? The negotiations obviously weren't going the way they wanted it to go, which is why he was left unsigned on July 1st. And so the good agents at that time, they identify which teams have cap space, who have a need for their client, and, you know, engaged in these conversations with Doug Armstrong and the Blues because the Blues have a need for a left shot D-man. They could bring him on board right now. And they have cap space, more importantly.
Yeah, they saved cap space.
And I think both parties looked at it and they said, well, in order for this to work, we got to get a second player involved because it's going to be too easy for Edmonton to figure out a way to match a Philip Broberg because the Blues aren't going in the category where they're giving up first-round picks. So, you know, you're talking about a second-round pick, you know, which is doable, right? For a guy like Broberg, you'll take that, pay him $4.5. But I think the agent, along with Doug, then they loop in Dylan Holloway's agent, Blake Robson, who I don't think has a ton of I could be wrong.
Yeah.
He only represents one other player, I think. And they got him involved, and they got him a nice pay raise, too. I still think there's a chance the Blues get at least one of the two. Who knows? Maybe they even get both. You just never know how this is going to play out. I've been in touch with some people with Edmonton, and they still say there's a lot of options in play. Some of that may be just kind of BS, a way just to kind of get back to you without saying anything. But I still think there probably are. And, you know, from the time we're recording, you've got another basically 24 hours to see how this plays out. But it's very creative on behalf of the agents, you know, to go out and find a deal.
Yep.
If I'm a player, and a couple things here. If I'm a player, I want an aggressive agent. Hey, I want you to go out and find me an offer sheet. And you know what? This is why if I'm an owner, it's so important you have experience in your front office.
Is that the next thing you want to do is be an owner? Because you want the social media, and then what else you want?
If I didn't have kids, I'd be an owner. I could afford
He wants to be an owner.
If I didn't have kids, I could afford a hockey team.
I want to be an oligarch.
But you know, if you're an owner, you better have experience in your front office who can pull off these type of maneuvers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Who totally have a firm grip on the CBA. Because, Cam, there's little things like if this would have gotten out and Edmonton would have gotten a heads up that the Blues are planning this, and I'll give the agents credit, too, for keeping their mouths shut because a lot of times that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And Army lets the agents know, you better, we got to keep this.
Shut the fuck up.
Hush. Because if you don't, it's off the table. We're not doing it. I don't know if that's exactly how it goes down, but I would imagine that's probably close to it. But you know, if Edmonton would have found out, they would have gone and traded for a player who had like arbitration rights, for example. And Elliot Friedman pointed this out. He's obviously 100% accurate with this. If they would have brought a player on board who had arbitration rights, that would have opened up a second buyout window for Edmonton to go buy out another player and create the cap space necessary to be able to match these contracts. And the wild card in all of this essentially is Evander Kane. Does he go on long-term injury? How long? How serious is the injury? How long?
What is it, knee?
How much time is he going to miss? I believe a hip.
Oh, God. Hip surgery.
So how long? How much time is he going to miss?
A lot.
And you know, Edmonton's got to be thinking now beyond this season. You know, you got, you know, listen, if I'm, you know, Bouchard, who I think he scored 18 goals last year. How in the hell does he take a penny less than Darnell Nurse? I don't know how you can pay this guy a penny, because I think Nurse and Evan Bouchard were probably the same age when Bouchard signs this deal. I would imagine Nurse was probably the same age when he signed his deal.
How old?
Well, they're going to be 26 or so, 20. You know, well, he's 97 or 99. I'm sorry, Bouchard. So what would
25?
So Bouchard, if you're 99, 25 right now.
Do the math. 25.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, he's 24 actually.
Okay, 25.
So he'll be 25 in October.
Yeah. Okay. He'll be 25
this year. So after this season, he's going to be 26 next year, right?
Do you think Bouchard's like, no?
I'm going to take less than Nurse.
Nurse is better than me.
Yeah.
He was minus 17 in the playoffs.
Yeah. That's okay.
That's okay. It doesn't, plus minus doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything, especially when you're Darnell Nurse. It just doesn't
mean terrible.
Anything.
He wasn't good. Andy, what are we doing here? I know Prong stuck up for him, and I get all that. But
he didn't really stick up for him.
Well, he just said he doesn't need to take all the criticism. Well, he kind of does. He's making a ton of money, and he wasn't that great. He was getting scored on left and right, like he was.
Do you know that Bouchard was plus 34
in the playoffs? Or no, in the regular season?
Yeah.
What about in the playoffs?
I gotta look.
What was Nurse in the regular season?
Nurse in the regular season
was what?
Or was that Nurse in the regular season was plus 3?
Okay. You know, I know.
I don't know if that's right.
He's shutting down guys. I get all that, but I saw what I saw in the playoffs, and he was fine, but he wasn't great. In fact, he wasn't fine. He wasn't that good.
He's been a plus player the last like 3 or 4 years in the regular season.
He just wasn't that good in the playoffs. He was dash fucking.
But if I'm Evan Bouchard, man, and again, they've got so much work to do, and I keep hearing everyone saying that, hey, Draisaitl and McDavid are best friends, and whatever. You know, Draisaitl's got to know that McDavid's going to sign there first off, and I don't think it's as close as everyone assumes it is. Now, I haven't followed back up, but I think I brought it up last week that they hadn't even exchanged numbers. So unless something drastically changed within the last week, when Stan Bowman's had other things going on where he hasn't necessarily been able to engage in exchanging offers and whatnot with Leon Draisaitl. Listen, if I'm Leon, man, I just think you have so much opportunity out there. And listen,
where?
If I hear one more analyst say Edmonton is prepared to make Leon Draisaitl the highest paid player in the game, whoever makes an offer to Leon Draisaitl is going to have to be prepared to make him the highest paid player in the game. You think somebody's going to be able to go out and get Leon Draisaitl?
There you go, Andy.
If he's not the highest paid player in the game?
He won $7 million.
And then Connor McDavid, when he signs his deal, he's going to become the highest paid player in the game, as he should be. So, listen, teams have an idea. If they're in their mind right now are saying, hey, if Draisaitl becomes available, we're going to take a run at him. They know already what type of number or what type of cash they're going to have to throw at this guy. Lot. Yeah.
But what team can do that?
I don't know. I haven't
dug
that
thing.
deep into it.
You know, that's the thing.
San Jose. And you know what? Yeah, but let me say this. Apparently, and this is why people are putting the connection together. And I'm not going to sit here and guarantee anything and say that he's going to go to San Jose or that he wants to go to San Jose. But San Jose's owner is from Germany. Apparently, there's some type of connection. They know each other or whatever. And that's why people are saying.
I don't know how far that goes.
Okay, but I'm just saying that's why. But he's prepared to throw a shit ton of money.
Then do it.
At Draisaitl.
Then do it.
And you know, you got Celebrini and you know, on board.
You're going to be okay.
You got you know, the kid from Boston College, Smith, who is now inside the organization. You've got you know, Tyler Toffoli just came over and signed a deal. I mean, you're going to have some players.
Okay,
you got my boy Lukey Cunnin there.
I just don't think Draisaitl's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go. when you get that winning feel and you haven't gotten it yet, like you still crave that. You don't want to.
Well, he wants to win a Stanley Cup.
Well, where are you going to go?
So if you want to win a cup, I mean,
probably would stay in Edmonton and risk it again. Well, you would risk it a lot of things because you would sign a long-term deal and whatnot.
And I know they're best friends. I mean, everyone says they're best of friends.
It only goes so far.
I mean, there's a lot. Our best
friendship
friends.
only goes so far.
Yeah,
it's everybody's selfish.
Yeah,
you got to remember that. All these guys are selfish. So I don't give a fuck if your best friend's there. I don't give a fuck if you have this, that, the other, blah blah blah. You want to win for yourself, and that's it. So what's it going to be?
Dwayne Wade and LeBron James were. They were best friends.
Like he's my best friend. I'm sticking with him to the end. No, you're not.
I know.
You'll hang out with him in the summer.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter. You're business partners. Yeah. This is a business. What's best for you?
Yeah, and
you've earned that.
And McDavid is going to do what's best for him.
No shit.
Now, you know,
he's coming to St. Louis. He said it. He loves the Arch.
But I don't know. They're committing another 8 years of their life to Edmonton. I'm not saying they won't. Listen, I had a conversation with Gene Principe the other day, and he seems pretty confident that Draisaitl like it's almost guaranteed that he's going to stay there.
Maybe, maybe.
And a lot of other people close to that situation, at least close to Edmonton, tend to think that. I don't look at it like that. I honestly think that the idea of him going elsewhere is probably very intriguing to him. How could it not be?
Of course.
He could sign with the Oilers tomorrow. I'm not going to sit here.
It's all good.
Hey, he could sign with them today.
Yeah.
But I would think that he travels around. He's from Germany, and he sees different teams in different cities. Maybe he wants to explore a lifestyle elsewhere, too.
I know,
he's engaged. Maybe she wants to live elsewhere.
Nah, she wants to be up there.
Maybe McDavid's wife wants to go live elsewhere.
In that house that they live in.
How about that wedding they had? That looked absolutely beautiful.
Well, it should.
Well over $1 million for that wedding.
Probably. It should. When you're wealthy, you have nice, big, fancy weddings. That's what happens.
And I like how he invited all his teammates, even the guys that just came to the team and stuff like that.
But that's what you do.
I know.
Absolutely.
That's what you do.
But they still got to fly there and do what they get. I don't know where's it at?
It was in Muskoka.
Oh, well, fuck.
At this place.
All those guys have cabins
and
up there.
they all stay there.
Yeah,
no,
that's beautiful.
In the house, and then there was 2 or 3 guest houses.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That dude from Bar Down, whatever, does a good job, man. I
like them, by the way. Little shout out Bar Down. What's up, baby? You guys always give us a shout out too, so we love you guys, man. What's up?
Cool. And he did a little TikTok or something on the house and stuff. It's like $100,000 a week to stay there, but then you have all these extra houses going on.
I would say just to clean this up a little bit and
guest houses,
to put a bow on it. When people are like, God, Draisaitl's best friends with somebody, that doesn't mean fuck, just so you know. It's about what he wants to do. That goes maybe a little certain way, maybe touch here. Hey, I like this, I like that.
Yeah.
But it's about him and what he wants to do. We're all selfish. So it's what is best for me. I don't give a fuck if I'm best friends with him. I'm going to be best friends with somebody else on another team.
There's only so much loyalty. Listen,
exactly.
Tom Brady left to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and nobody saw that happening. Right?
Exactly. And then he wins, and he does his thing. You know what I mean? There's only so much loyalty, and rightfully so.
There's only so many Derek Jeters.
You only do this for fucking 10, 15 years at the most.
Yeah.
So you better get as much in as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Then you know what? You know what's going to happen afterwards? When you retire, you guys are going to be best friends again. Funny how that works.
Yeah.
It's not a woman where you're going to go hang out with other women. Yeah. She ain't going to hang out with you again. But a dude, who gives a fuck?
How did Korea and Solani and Hall & Oates, how did they...
Are they still buddies?
How did
Of course they are.
Even live without one another?
Do you think Chaser's like, I'm not friends with Holly anymore. He went to Dallas. Get out of here.
How'd they even exist?
You're going to Dallas? Our friendship's over. Okay. I'll call you in fucking 2 months and we're going to go fucking golf and...
Messier.
And Gazer.
Messier left the Oilers, went to the Rangers.
Of course.
How dare him?
How'd Gretter? I mean, like everybody. Like, they all do it. They're all selfish. We all are. And rightfully so.
It's not selfish.
Yes, it is.
In the case of being as a negative.
No.
Like, this would not be on my social media platform.
They are selfish.
Okay.
They think about themselves more than anybody else. They think about themselves and their family, and that's it. I don't give a fuck if they have a best friend here. They have this. I told you. It does not matter.
Yeah.
What's best for me? And rightfully so.
But I think these offer sheets, getting back there real quick, is a great avenue that I don't understand why more general managers don't take advantage of. Now, Some people are saying, well, you better watch out for guys like Jake Neighbors and Joel Hofer because they're going to retaliate.
Well,
but
you going to afford him? You're going to be able to afford Jake Neighbors?
They're not going to be able to. No, I will say this, Cam. In the event that, like, say Edmonton was unable to match like Broberg or something like that, that revenge may not come this year, but it may come 3, 4, 5 years.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Deal with it then.
Yeah. I'm saying 2
2
years from now, 3 years from now. You just never know.
But they have to have enough cap room to be able to sign him. He won $8 million.
But that's the job of a general manager, to make sure you're taking care of your business and you're not exposing your players to receive potential offer sheets, right? And you're getting them signed before they have the ability to go out and fetch one.
Exactly right.
And so, if you leave them exposed, it's like, it's not the fault of the team that goes out and sign, because it's the agents too, man. I can't make that clear enough. It's the agents who a lot of times know what's out there, which is a major contributor as to why they didn't sign before July 1st anyway. Well, we're not going to sign. We're just because we know we're going to be an RFA on July 1st, and now we can go get our offer sheet.
There it is, Andy.
Exactly
right. You're exactly right.
They know.
So I like it. Again.
Well, it gets us talking in August too.
Totally. And I don't. If I'm a Blues fan, and we're just talking Blues here because we're in St. Louis, I don't want my GM to be like, nah, I'm not going to risk this because we're buddies. Like, that is so stupid. That's a stupid thing. That's a stupid way to think. Now, if you're like, I don't want to risk this because they're going to jam me up later, maybe there's some truth to that. But like, no, we're buddies. We're doing, no, that's ridiculous.
Okay, but I will say
I've heard that a million times from people.
I know.
And I'm like,
I know. But I do think that the relationships do go a long way. I mean, I don't know if Doug makes this offer if Kenny Holland is still the GM. I don't know if he's looking to fuck over Kenny Holland.
I would say who gives a shit.
I know you would.
I would say who gives a shit. Okay, time out.
Yeah, but you say that, and you're a nice guy. You would be the guy that I don't think would fuck over somebody else.
That's why I'm not doing it. That's why.
So you're saying it, but you would be the guy that would not do it to your friend.
In the business world with radio and podcasts and stuff like that, I don't fuck people over. This is a different animal, baby. This is a different animal. And fine, I'm a pussy. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm never going to be in that situation, because I don't have the balls to do it, according to you.
Man, you don't have kids. You don't have kids. So
I don't have kids, so I can do what I want.
You could do it.
But I just feel like, okay, let me ask you something.
Probably afford anything.
I'm fucking well. I'm going to Denver, like Andy. What would be fucking somebody over? What would happen? So explain to me a situation where a team legitimately fucks somebody over. Was it the Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes a couple years ago with...
No, they did Montreal a favor.
Okay, explain.
That was a stupid... I mean, they gave an offer sheet when the team doesn't even match. Like, they don't even... this guy... They drafted Kakiniemi before over Brady Tkachuk. I mean, that was just a catastrophe from the...
How?
I don't know.
Andy,
I mean, their amateur scouting was...
How do you do that?
Was not on it.
I want to be in that meeting. All y'all out there. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in some of these meetings with these draft picks.
Yeah.
And just listen to what they have to say to convince them to not fucking draft Brady Tkachuk. That's unbelievable to me. Okay, no, let me ask you something, because you're in the game, Andy, and I love you. Although your goal wasn't that good. Anyway.
No, I haven't even broken it down yet, because I went back and hit the forehand under the stick.
One leg.
You don't even. No, you don't know that.
I'm just telling you.
You're giving a false perception.
I'm just telling you.
Giving a false perception.
I'm just telling you. What would determine a fuck over? What would a GM have to do to another organization with an offer sheet to fuck them over? For that other GM to be like, holy shit, I can't believe he did that. I'm going to do blah, blah, blah next. What would that, give me a scenario.
Well, maybe if they know the inside of what's going on with the negotiations.
Well, why would they know?
The relationship.
Well, why would they know?
Well, if they're friends.
Okay, so if they're talking and say this is what's happening, but then why say it then?
I'm just saying it, like this fucking agent. And see,
over?
I think another reason as to why Edmonton, and again, I don't want to give any projections or predictions in terms of how this is going to go down, because when this comes
Monday.
out,
we're on Monday,
it's pretty much going to be,
that's right.
We're going to know. But I do think there probably is some friction between the agent for Broberg and Edmonton in terms of the agent fetching this offer sheet not really working with the team to get a deal done before, but then the agent's frustrated with the team because they've been kind of, playing around with his client and taking forever to get the clock going here with his, NHL career, having only played 12 games this past season.
12. Yikes.
So, it was, I'm sure some of that, where the team is now like, okay, well, now we're going to fuck over the agent and not let him leave. We're going to match it so he doesn't leave. Now he's got to stay here and walk back into the room. Maybe there's guys that like Cody Cece, and maybe it could create a little bit of tension.
I'm just thinking, like, if I'm a GM, I'm like, I'd love to throw an offer sheet on these guys, man. They're in a jam. They're cap heavy.
100%.
But I don't want to screw them over. Like, who thinks that way? And what situation would be that?
Not the team, but, there are relationships, Cam. Hey, listen, what's interesting is that and Kyle Dubas, Doobie,
Debbie, I want him on.
Well, tell him.
Hi, Doobie. Can you come on our podcast? Andy's been texting you out the wazoo. We love you.
He always gets back to me.
He's great. I like him. We chirped him.
I've known Kyle since he was recruiting 14-year-old kids as an agent.
I like, because Andy told me, like, he gets back to him like, fuck, I respect the shit.
Oh, he's cool as shit. And he says great things too.
Yeah. He's made some mistakes, and it's all good, but I like him.
Oh, we'll get into Toronto. Okay, so but this would not have been possible. The Blues trade their second-round pick to Pittsburgh. And then the Blues need the original second-round pick. You can't just have a second-round pick to use as compensation when you sign a player to an offer sheet. It has to be your own second-round pick, your original pick.
Yeah, you already picked him.
So Doug went and got it back from Kyle. So this would not have been possible without Kyle playing ball with Doug Armstrong. I feel like Kyle, when Doug calls, he picks up, yes, Doug.
Yeah.
There's some respect there.
There's a lot going on.
So now with that going on, as an example, I don't think Doug would turn around and fuck over Kyle Dubas in Pittsburgh now after he just fucking, helped him out here.
It just depends on what it is.
You got to have relationships.
But again, like, if it's going to help your team out in a moment, and you might fuck them a little bit, like, it's like, what the fuck you want me to do?
I wish we'd see more.
I'm sorry.
I wish in the next CBA, a GM should be forced to have a minimum number of offer sheets they have to sign.
I just don't buy any of this friendship stuff. Like, I'm starting
to. But you say that, but you be the first one to not.
I'm a hypocrite.
Yes.
I told you.
I know. So
I don't screw people over on radio.
No.
I'm too nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm losing money probably because of it. Yeah. In all reality, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm probably I can make more money if I wasn't such a pussy when it comes to not fucking people over. I'm not a goddamn GM. And nor am I ever going to be. So I'm a hypocrite saying that. Fine, I'll admit it. Mm-hmm. Fuck all that. You only have a certain window you're going to be here anyway. And he's not going to golf with you ever again? You might not fucking be a GM ever again. Make this team as best you can. I don't give a fuck what you do.
So ruthless would be that guy, what you're talking about. They don't give a fuck. They'll do it to anybody.
You have a short window of being a GM.
You think Lou would not do it too?
Lou would probably do anything he wants to do.
Like what he did with Scott Stevens.
You don't think he had that fucking... They wanted Cujo. No. We got Marty.
Yeah.
I want the killer. I want the guy that's going to win me 3 Stanley Cups. Yeah. And we're going to get him because there's going to be a little bit of flaws that you fucked up, Ron Cron. Yeah. You fucked up, and I'm going to get you on that.
And listen, retaliation's a real thing. I remember when David Backes got signed.
I remember.
To a 3-year contract from Vancouver at $2.5 million per year. And he was like in his honeymoon in Hawaii or something when he signed it.
Yeah. I was on a team.
And so he gets the 3-year. Oh, you played?
Man.
I didn't. I did. Did I show you my?
No, we saw it on Insta story.
Forehand.
Just wait till I talk to the Blues Warriors about that.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, no, they love
Cam,
you.
we had a great time.
You're
trying to stir it up again.
You stirred it up by posting it.
Otter told me to.
And I'm getting text.
Otter told me to.
Blame it on him. Blame it on Otter. How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
I'm going to.
Why listen to everybody? You think he's in your best interest?
Otter is my best interest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Our birthday's a 1 year.
Sure he is. Sure he is. He knows I'm going to chirp you on here.
We have good chemistry on the ice.
Real good. How was Otter? He was okay. He doesn't skate that much. What the fuck do you mean? He's on the ice every single day with the Blues.
No, what I say, it's amazing how good these guys are without skating.
Bullshit.
That's what
He skates every...
Yeah, but I told you that. That's what I said.
Wait.
No. I said it's amazing how good they are with never playing.
They skate every single...
Yeah, but that's what I said to you.
Oh, God.
So
no, you are... No, you did not say that to me.
Yeah, I did.
No, I corrected you by saying they skate every single day.
Yeah, you said that.
And even with you, you're like, I haven't skated in fucking years.
With pads on, it's different.
Get out. You barely have any... Well, you that weak?
No, it's fine.
It makes that much of a difference?
It's just the stamina.
Makes that much of a difference?
It's heavier.
You're sticking on the puck on the ice every single day. The hardest part about skating, when you haven't done it in a while, is putting your skates on and touching the ice and feeling the ice. You're on the ice 5 times a fucking week. Otter's on the ice 7 times a week. And you're like, God, he was really good for not skating. I'm like, skates every damn day.
But I had not played in a game in a year, and I actually felt fine for not playing in a game in a year.
Well, you walked that defenseman with, a wooden leg.
I can't believe you say that, dude. You can't say that.
I just did.
That's being disrespectful to those guys.
No, it's the shit. No, them getting fucking doing their thing in the sandbox and you posting about walking a guy that was in the sandbox is disrespectful, in my opinion.
I was just having fun, dude. I was
and it's hilarious, and now I'm talking about it.
No, but you know I'm not. Now you're like taking it.
No, because you said we're going to talk about this for an hour, and you knew I was going to have a rebuttal.
This morning.
You knew I was going to. You knew I'm going to come with heat.
Here's how it went down. Because Cam's yelling at me for being late when I called him at 8:15 this morning. He didn't answer.
8:40. You're right. I didn't. I fucked that up.
Yeah,
you're right.
Okay.
I got mad at you, and I'm like, you're like, no, Cam, I called you. I'm like, okay, my bad.
So he didn't.
But I apologize.
Okay, so. I said, it's okay. We're going to talk about my goal for half the show anyway. So
I go, you sure?
Joking.
You want to? No, but you weren't joking.
Oh, 100%.
You sure you want to go down that road?
I didn't even bring it up. When
I text you back, you sure you want to go down that road? You did. You're like, you're probably like, what's he mean by this?
I didn't even bring it up.
There it is.
You brought it up.
You know I'm going to come back with heat on you. You know I'm going to come back with heat on
Mike Greer, why did you do the trade yesterday for a 3rd round pick?
There's more to it. There's more to it. This is interesting. I hope it's chaos. I hope it's chaos. By the way, it was cool watching the NFL. Kate's like, she loves football, She's like, she can't wait till fucking, fall time, which I can't wait till either. I love where we live in fall. It's so beautiful. She's like, let's watch a football game. I'm like, no one's playing. It's the worst. It's not fun though. I'm not ready for football yet. Just not ready for it yet.
For preseason NFL football, I tried watching it last night.
I couldn't do it. You know what I watched last night?
I was watching Christina Pink on the sidelines, doing a great job. I always watch the sideline.
What were you watching?
Christina Pink. I always watch.
You would just watch a random.
I watch the sideline reporters, how they conduct their interviews.
Creepy. That's fucking creepy, dude.
Okay, why are you? No, I'm not staring at her. She's only on the screen for 30 seconds.
Are you watching with Lori and you're like, pause? I got to rewind that. And she's like, what are you doing? She's really good at interviews. You know what I watched last night though? Kate and I. Lacey Peterson murder. Remember that? Remember Scott Peterson? The murder in California?
Of course I do.
I watched that documentary on
He wasn't one of the brothers, though, was he?
Excuse me?
The brothers?
He's a white guy.
No, I know that. I'm saying the brothers who killed their parents. Remember them?
Man, that's the Menendez brothers. Get out of here. Okay. There's a lot of murders that happen in the U.S.
Okay.
This was a big story. 2 handsome couple. She was pregnant, 8 months, 9 months pregnant. He bought a boat.
Oh, God.
2 days beforehand, Christmas Eve, he goes fishing on his new little shit fucking John boat in the middle of goddamn San Francisco Bay.
And throws her over.
And he must have strangled her, wrapped her up.
Oh, my God. You think they got in a fight or that was the plan going out?
He was having an affair with Amber Fry. Remember that blonde-haired girl? Amber Fry. Remember this 2004, Andy.
And she loved it.
Okay.
Okay, so...
But Lacey was a cute little,
I know she
little girl.
was.
Like, she was so sweet. Like,
Dude,
it just seemed like...
why are you bringing this up right
this
now?
guy, this Scott Peterson guy. Just watch it. If you guys know what I'm talking about. That was gigantic, man, in the U.S. Gigantic story. God, I watched it. I had the weirdest dreams last night. Weird dreams last night. Like I dreamt a cake and...
I was getting chased by a deer on my bicycle last night in one of my dreams. Because, dude, I've seen, like, this tiger... yesterday have a standoff with a cobra. Who would win that one?
That's a good question. I'll answer like this. The cobra. the poison will get to the tiger eventually. The tiger's going to kill the cobra, but the tiger's going to get fucked up.
Really?
The venom is
It would kill you?
Well, the cobra will spit in your face.
If a human if it gets spit on by the cobra, you're dead?
You're fucked.
Immediately.
You're fucked.
They spit on you or they just bite you and spit?
The glands go. That's a defense mechanism.
Yeah. It was like in the water and it was ready, man.
Scary. Cobras are bigger than you think.
Scooting back.
I think a Komodo dragon will kill a tiger.
Yeah. I saw a jaguar do some crazy shit too.
They're the strongest goddamn things in the world.
They grabbed like an alligator out of the freaking...
They're the strongest damn things in the world. Jaguars are stronger than fucking anything.
Really?
Yes. They'll pick you up right at the back of your fucking neck, drag you up to a tree. They are strong as fuck and go anywhere, agile as shit. Jaguars. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You like watching like when it's nature? Do you look at it like, well, this is great for the environment, for nature when they kill each other? Or do you...
I get sad.
I get sad.
I don't like... No, but it is. That's nature.
Elephants will like kill their own to like so they survive.
It depends on. They might kill their own. If a lot of groups of animals. If there's a one of the babies that is like neglected, that is hurt, or
all these
something,
wolves were getting surrounded by.
They'll just neglect it, and that's why a lot of people pick those neglected animals up and take them to these animal shelters in Africa and whatnot. A lot of guys I know that have these animal shelters. I don't know them, but I watch them on YouTube. They'll take the neglected baby, and that's why they have all these things, because the herd will neglect some of the, whether it's a baby tiger or whatever the case is.
Okay.
And so like they'll find them lost, like a little baby tiger lost, and they'll pick them up and they'll take care of them.
Real quick, because we got to get into a lot of different things here, and we got Swaggy P, dude, joining us on this edition.
Yeah, this is a different one, guys, and it's not like I know he didn't play in the NHL and stuff like that, and we're not trying to like try to be too different, but I think he's a big inspiration for a lot of young kids, and he helps out hockey, man. Like these kids are.
He's helping grow in the game.
Shit, he's more popular than probably 70% of the NHL players.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Is that right? 70%?
I bet you his content is more recognizable to a lot of fans.
Young kids, and that's fine. And so he's interesting. So we got him on
versus like any
Cece,
bottom six forward.
I don't know.
Cody Cece.
Dylan Cece.
Dylan Holloway.
Dylan Holloway, Cody Cece, all those guys. Like whatever. Like
he wears 55. I want to see him wear 55.
Yeah.
Take your number. Christian Backlund's number.
Cole Franco's wearing that.
Oh shit.
Whoa,
dude. How could I slip up on that? I meant to take that out.
No, don't take that.
All right, so this Mexican man, he was stranded at sea for 460-something days.
In a little John boat?
With a friend of his who he went out and to go fishing with. So, he looked like he was from Castaway, like when they found him.
It's a long time ago, but yeah.
So he recently wrote a book.
I'll read that.
And about his experience and what happened. So the guy that he was with, whatever happened to him, whether he was thrown over or by the other guy or if he was, but they're accusing him of like cannibalizing him and eating him for survival. Would you eat your friend? I mean, and I would not, because in this situation, I wouldn't want to be by myself.
Don't know what you would do in that situation.
Well, I don't want to be by myself.
Act like I don't want to be by myself. You don't know a fucking thing what you would do if you were in that desperation mode.
The radio went down.
You're goddamn right you would eat them. You're damn right. You'd eat your fucking dog. You'd eat anything. You're damn right. Yes, just like the Donner Party, just like a ton of different other expeditions.
You would eat your dog?
Yeah, fucking A-right.
Would you eat Boo Boo?
Yes, although she's skin and bones right now, there's nothing to eat, just like you. I wouldn't be filled with little Boo Boo, but I would. You're goddamn right. Just like the rugby team out of Argentina.
Alive, yeah.
They did the same thing, and they got shit on too. They're like, what the fuck are we supposed to do? They're dead. We have to stay alive. Do you want us all to die? No, that's exactly what you do.
Human meat, what does it taste like, do you think?
Not good, but it's good enough to survive. It's not good. Cat meat's not good. Yeah. Dog meat's not good unless you're from China.
Where?
It's not China. Unless you're from China, dog meat is somewhat of a delicacy over there. Why? I don't fucking know. But if your dog dies and you're stuck out in the middle of the woods, the dog's going to be eaten.
They still eat dog at the Chinese restaurants and stuff like that?
In China, yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Is it on the menu or like not?
Don't know.
They don't tell you.
I haven't been to China, nor will I go.
What dog do you think? You won't ever go to China?
Nah.
Really?
Nah, I'd like to see.
What about Hong Kong?
Hong Kong's a different story.
What about Japan?
Yes. Goddamn right I go to Japan.
So
Japan's different.
What's the difference?
They treat you different in Japan. It's a whole different system. Whole different.
Like, explain.
Although, like, you can get jammed up anywhere, man. Like, you can get jammed up anywhere. Japanese, like Americans. The Chinese, I would say, have a little bit more of a friction with the United States. Although I would say Chinese people would, unless they're making good money over there, would like to live in the U.S. over China. I would say that's probably, if you did a poll, and a realistic poll, they would say, yeah. But Xi Jinping would probably know that you did the poll and fucking execute you.
Oh,
so
God.
Would I want to live anywhere but the U.S.? Probably not. Probably not. But I would go to Japan. I would go to Italy. I would go to Germany.
Everybody would go there.
Well, then what's wrong with Japan? What's the difference?
Nothing. I know nothing's wrong with Japan, but you say like I'd go to Italy. Everyone goes to Italy. That's not even a question if you go to Italy.
Okay.
Everyone knows that.
Well, everybody should go to Japan. China's a different story.
Okay, well, so that's what I was about asking about China. China.
They have a different regime. You know what I mean?
Like, not quite as bad as North Korea.
No, not even close. But it's still bad. You know what I mean?
Where else wouldn't you go?
Wouldn't I go? I wouldn't go to the Middle East. I wouldn't go to North Korea, China. Although people are like, Cam, you should go to China. I know people that do business in China all the time. They want.
I know
they
a lot
still
of
want
people
our
who do
business
that
over there.
too.
So it's different. Like, would I want to go to China? Like, is that my number one thing? No. Japan may be a little bit different, although that's on the opposite side of the world. But if I'm going to fly that far, I'd rather go to Fiji, or I'd rather go to New Zealand, which is like rated number one most beautiful place in the world to live, or to go.
What is New Zealand?
New Zealand is, yes.
The number one
place, most beautiful place in the world is New Zealand.
Then why aren't we all living there?
Doesn't mean it's the best place to live. It's the most beautiful place.
Oh, beautiful place. Yeah. Okay. I mean,
are your ears okay?
No, I thought you said it's the best place to live.
No, it's the most beautiful place.
Yeah. Where's the best place to live?
Here.
Okay.
Duh.
United States.
Canada. Here. Germany.
Oh, you say now
UK.
Canada's the best place to live.
I didn't say it was the best. I said we're the best. I say Canada would be up there in my upper echelon of places to live.
If they control the homeless situation with
dude, you're complaining about Canada and the homeless situation?
The drug use.
Have you been anywhere where we live? We have homeless people out the wazoo.
Yeah, but they're not like shooting up right in front of the kids.
In the United States? Are you out of your damn...
don't see everyone...
Where have you gone?
They don't
where have you gone? Go downtown St. Louis or shooting up left and right. What are you talking about?
But they have to, if they're seen by the cops, they get arrested.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're setting up fucking shit left and right in downtown St. Louis, dude. What are you talking about?
Downtown Vancouver, they're just allowed to do whatever.
Dude, Seattle, you're fucking shooting up left and right.
You can pick up syringes and stuff like that.
I know. So what's your argument?
So
what are you doing?
That's just the only thing they have to clean up in Canada.
The only thing?
Well, one of the things.
I mean, they got a lot of things they got to clean up. You know, it's expensive as shit to live in Canada, man. People are struggling like you cannot believe.
So expensive.
I just told you about all you guys living paycheck to paycheck. Don't look at yourself in the mirror and be like, we all have to do better. But you're not the only one. And all your buddies that think that they have all this money, it's not necessarily true. Everybody's struggling.
What if you're...
Except for the rich. And even then, when you're rich, man, you have all this going on. You have all these different people. Like, it's all connected, man. Yeah. Even the wealthy are used to being wealthy.
You say 300. I mean, you can make 300, 350 and still live.
In St. Louis, you're okay.
Yeah, but even making you can make 200. And the reality is, you don't have to live a specific lifestyle. You choose to live a specific lifestyle. Which,
you have 3 kids,
which makes
making 200. Time out. Okay, I know, Andy. We don't have to go and see Sven every 2 weeks. You don't have to go to fucking Vancouver with Ty, then go to Boston and go there and do this and do that. You don't have to do that, but you're going to because you're a good daddy, and you know Ty wants to do that, and it's good for his hockey development. So, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to live in the poor part of Ladue. You can live in the poor part of fucking Arnold. Why don't you live there? Because you want to keep up with the Joneses. Why are you at the Creve Coeur Nerd Racket Club? That costs you money. You don't have to fucking do that. Why are you doing that? Because you want to. That's why. So don't act like it's like, hey, you know what? No, people want to live a certain way. You're not living
That's
that
what I'm
luxuriously.
saying. You don't have to.
You're not flying fucking private places and stuff like that.
You could go live in.
You could be frugal as shit, but that you're miserable anyway. Yeah, you're saving some money, but you're frugal all the fucking time, and people don't want to hang out with you because you're fucking cheap. I'm just telling
and you live too far out.
And whatever. I love it. I'm just telling all you guys, man, like a lot of people are struggling. You're not the only one. I know you're fighting with the wife. The kids are getting annoying. The kids are getting expensive. It's going to be okay. It's going to all come back around. You're going to be okay, and you're not the only one that's dealing with it.
Ask those shit kickers in Saskatchewan.
I'm telling you, man. The farmers and stuff, like, goddamn. They have one bad crop because it doesn't fucking rain or it rains too much. Good God. It's tough, dude. It's tough, but it's tough for a lot of people. Just telling you. You don't have to live that life. Okay. You got 3 kids. You got to do something with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could sit, Kate and I could sit and do nothing and save money all the fucking time and be okay. But fuck, I want to go eat some goddamn seafood. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to go down to Lake of the Ozarks. I want to do this. Like, there's things you want to do. I work hard. Like, I want to do things.
Any update on the race with Kamala and Tampon Tim?
I'll tell you this right now. The fucking DNC is going to they're boarding up windows in Chicago because Antifa is coming for the DNC.
Oh, they still exist?
Yeah. How do you not infiltrate them? How do you not?
But they vote Democrat.
Yes. They're psychos. It's all the same people. Anti-Israel, it's Antifa. The pro-Palestine people that are psycho with all their fucking masks on, like, yelling at everybody, that's called Antifa. Where'd they come from? All these riots that happen with Antifa, these little white boy, white girl, blue, purple hair, fucking weirdos. They're Antifa. How do you not stop them? How do you not have some nerd? I could dress Andy up, put a little fucking nerd wig on him, go in there, take me to your nerd leader. And then all of a sudden, we have you mic'd up. You're under fucking cover. You go, you talk to the nerd of all nerds, and you're like, what are we doing here? And all of a sudden, you take them all down. Why can't we do that? That's the easiest thing to fucking take care of.
Oh, you think
they're everywhere? And it's funny, when these riots happen, there's a big block of bricks everywhere. Interesting. Where'd the bricks come from in the middle of the street? Did somebody put them there? Yeah. Where'd these people come from? Did they drive here? Yeah. No, they're bussed in. How? Interesting.
Yeah.
Antifa. Now they're boarding up all the windows in Chicago with the DNC convention. The DNC's like, well, I thought you're on our team. No, they're not. They're not. They're not anybody's team. They don't know. They swing in the fucking wind. Now they're pro-Palestine. It's Antifa. How can you not shut them down? Anyway.
Well, I didn't mean to get you going there.
Well, it's just, you asked me a question. I'm going to tell you. You don't notice that?
Do you think it's AI that Kamala is drunk during some of her press conferences? Have you heard that?
Yes.
Trump might be too, although apparently
he's not a good speaker without the goddamn.
Although Trump maybe, I don't think he drinks.
No,
he doesn't.
No, never.
I mean, you know that.
He's never drank. Has anybody seen him drink? Have you ever seen a picture of him with a glass of alcohol in his hand? Ever. There's billions of pictures. You ever see him drinking? He's never drank. Now he eats McDonald's. He eats Ross. He eats well done steak with ketchup. People chirp for that. Give a fuck. He doesn't drink. But that doesn't mean that Kamala shouldn't drink. That's okay. That's okay. She doesn't know how to talk.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what she stands for. Listen to her talk. She sounds stupid. She doesn't have that fucking little thingy in front of her. Teleprompter. She doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. And they're like, oh, we're going to hide her more. Tampon Tim.
Firstform.com.
I should have tampon. How?
We still have our drawing going on, by the way. We're going to extend it for a little bit. We've gotten a bunch of orders coming in. We appreciate that. Keep sending them in. And then we're going to pick the winner. And it has to have your order number on there. So order something from First Form. Get whatever you want, man. Get those level 1 shakes. Get some apparel. Get some bars. Get some
of these protein sticks. 20 grams of protein, baby. What else? I get up and I take my vitamins. I take my liver, my liver detox every morning.
Yeah, I do.
I take my hair and nail pills. I take the fish oil every single morning. I take my collagen. I put it in my coffee.
Yeah, but you don't have it because I asked him to show it to me and he didn't have it. Remember, I said, "Show me your collagen." Like I'm out.
Look at my order. What I ordered, dummy. You're a bad chirper. Can I say something real quick? Okay. So Matty Tkachuk and
Jason Tatum
threw the first pitch out with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Classy as fuck.
Mhm.
Love those two guys.
Yeah.
Fucking, we love you. They love St. Louis. We love you guys a lot. Jason, Matty, we love you.
Both will be Olympians.
So the Mets, New York Mets, gigantic. Spend over $300 million.
Did they copy their idea?
No. Let me talk. They spend so much money. They are hated. They're loved. They're hated. They're loved.
Mm-hmm.
They have the Hawk Tua, Haley Welch.
I saw that.
They have Haley Welch. Haley Welch.
She threw out the first
Throw
pitch.
the first pitch out. And I don't give a fuck about anything. But I'm just looking at this like, who made that decision with the Mets? Who with the Mets organization, probably some 25-year-old girl, was like, we got to support women. Let's get Haley Welch out there on Kids Day. It's like Camp Kids Day.
No, it wasn't.
Yes. Camp Kids Day. Haley Welch throws the first pitch out. Hawk Tua. She's in fucking Nashville. She's getting interviewed. She's like, I'm going to Hawk Tua and spit on that ding-a-ling. That's the girl. Spitting on a penis after she's sucking on it. So if she gets invited to throw the first pitch out with the Mets, what if Chloe's in the stands with you and she's out there and Chloe goes, and I don't have kids. I don't give a fuck. Nothing bothers me. It really doesn't, unless it's directly affecting me politically.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to be pissed. But who made the decision to have this girl be the girl to throw the first pitch out at a Met game on kids night with all these kids watching, probably asking the same question, what did this girl do to become famous? That's the dumb down of America. Now they're like, you got to explain to Chloe what this fucking chick did to become famous, to throw the first pitch out in one of the biggest organizations in all of sports.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to say to Chloe?
I don't know what the fuck I'd say to her, but let me ask you something. Like you demand an answer right now. My question is,
I'm saying
is
it to
this
every,
are people?
Yeah, big time. I'm just asking the
So
question.
what
to
are
everybody.
people saying about this?
This is ridiculous. Like, why would you have?
Are
why
people
would
calling out the Mets for this?
Why? Yes.
And what are they saying?
I don't know. I haven't talked to the Mets, Andy. But my point is, like, why? Who made that decision? Why would you have her throw the first pitch out and put her on a pedestal? Why? But my point is, it's not her fault. Not at all. When she was interviewed, she was wasted. She said a goofy thing, and now it blows up. But to promote her and to put her on a pedestal in front of all these kids, so where they're asking their parents what this girl did, and the little girl's like, all you gotta do is talk about sucking dick, and like that is fucking terrible.
Yeah,
to me.
I don't know. I mean, I
do you
cannot
not
disagree with what you're saying.
Okay.
I agree 100% with what you're saying. I am flabbergasted.
Thank God I could
that
have a conversation.
she actually was asked to do that.
That's what I mean.
The Yankees wouldn't do that.
No, they would not. No, they would not.
Why would the Mets do
I don't
that?
know.
Does that
again, it
enhance your attendance for that particular game?
No. No one can.
Can I say this too?
No, they're packed.
Can I say this too?
Yeah.
And I know the Cardinals did this, but I hate to. And I think Brett Hall had a line years ago when he threw out the first pitch.
Yeah.
And some bullpen catcher or whatever is catching it.
Yeah.
And I say bullpen, it probably was like a player.
Yeah.
The player takes out a pen and signs the ball and hands it to Holly.
Exactly what you do.
And Holly's like, shouldn't I be signing this for you?
No, man. That's
okay.
that's the tradition.
Matt Tkachuk and Jason Tatum should have signed those balls for that. Okay.
Okay, whatever. Jesus Christ. We're talking about a girl that's sucking cock.
Yeah, well,
and
who signs the ball for her?
Hey, it's just odd.
Firstform.com. Again, send us your order, and you will be registered to receive a First Form prize pack with a Cam and Strick prize pack included. It's pretty nice. Send us the order,
nice, baby.
Pretty nice.
Check these hats out. We got
benchclears.com, baby.
Yeah. Look at this,
man.
Nardeeks.
Hey, when it's all hot in the summertime, it's too hot. You can't be repping your team, but you can now. People are reaching out to me being like, damn, they got Canada ones and whatever.
Yeah,
those are pretty sick, man.
They got everything.
These are sweet. And they've got shorts as well, and they've got hoodies now. As you get into the fall and the winter and hockey season and all that, they got hoodies, man. There's so many different ways to rep your team. Bench Clears, Cam and Strick's the promo code. It's going to save you 20%. Do it today. Use that promo code. Cam and Strick, that's the promo. They got all American League teams. They've got all NHL teams. Yeah. They got a ton of stuff. Men's sizes, women's sizes, youth sizes.
Yeah, they got it all. They got it all, and they got cool.
And they got retro jerseys too.
I know this is a little wrinkled, but that's a cool Nordiques jersey.
It is cool.
Like, people love this jersey.
I know.
The old Whalers jersey we had on. We're gonna bring a couple more in here because we got a bunch of them.
Yeah,
and we'll show you all kinds of different ones, but they got it all. That's Bench Clears.
They got them all. So check that out. Hat Launch and hatlaunch.com. Get those hats, man. America's #1 source for custom hats in North America is right here on my top of my head. Maybe a hat launch.
Right here, baby.
Yeah.
They got a new little logo for us right here. I got the camouflage on. I got the green First Form stuff going on.
Yeah, I love it.
And he's got the white. The only thing with the white with me is when I chew, and I'm like, I don't like wearing that. When I know.
Spit on your hat?
No, man. It's always on my hands, so I touch it. Now I got chew on there. I got to wipe it out. Man.
It's cool for if you're playing baseball or something like that.
No, it's not. That's why I don't like white hats. If I'm doing it like golfing or anything, because I touch it and it just gets too dirty. So
okay.
But they look sharp as shit. Look at that. I like our logo. Looks great. That looks good on you.
Thank you. Yeah. So check that out. Hatlaunch.com. If you have a team or a school or any organization, business, whatever, you need hats, any type of apparel, because they do shirts and stuff like that too. Hit them up, man. Hatlaunch.com, and make sure you tell them that we sent you. Even USA Hockey reached out to them, I believe.
Yeah, they're the real deal.
Yeah, they're the real deal. There's no doubt about that.
Real quick before we get into our sponsor, they found the black box, obviously, with that plane crash.
God, and
in Brazil, with all these scientists on there, like I talked about, these important scientists all died.
Oh no!
And so they got the black box. Another couple of weeks, we'll figure out. I'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for that.
Well, they want to hear you talk more.
No, I'm being serious.
Any more trades going on or something?
Serious. Cam's gonna keep you updated. Not the New York Times or anything, or the.
Well, I always have a different view.
Or the Brazilian Post.
When you listen to the New York Times, you believe them?
Whatever. Who do you believe?
I believe myself when I read all the research from both sides.
Who do you
of
go
everything.
to? Who's your first go-to? Mine's Wall Street Journal. You go next.
It doesn't. I don't know yet. It depends on what pops up. I'll read 15 different articles and I'll put it all together. You know what I mean? Everybody's different in how they view different things.
You know who else is different?
Who?
Shilly Plastering.
Yeah, they are. They're a real deal, baby.
Dude, people are sending me pools and be like, dude, Shilly did my pool too. They are the real deal. Shilly Plastering, man. Ryan, everybody over there is Shilly Plastering.
He knows everybody too, man. Anybody we talk to with
they're
hockey.
like, damn, dude, you guys got Shilly on. Yeah. See, that's awesome.
Yeah.
People are like at the rink the other day, that's awesome, man. You're working with Shilly Plastering. Yeah. So absolutely, we love it, man.
Yep.
And
they're huge in St. Louis.
They are.
And respected.
So, and I'm looking at getting a pool. I want a pool.
You have a perfect backyard.
If I didn't have kids, I'd have.
If you had a pool,
the biggest pool.
If you had a pool, I'll come over your house and hang out.
Would you?
Mm-hmm. Even with your kids there and everything.
Okay. Really?
Even if you had a party with kids, I would go over there.
Some people who have pools complain that people just come over when they're not home. Like they get home and they're in your backyard.
Jesus, Amy, put your foot down.
Put your foot down.
Jesus.
Would you want people just hanging out at your house?
If I had a pool and I loved my neighbors and they had, I would, yes.
Yeah.
But don't destroy things and be respectful. And that's it.
Your old neighbors, like their grandkids or whatever? Next door to you, that old lady that lives next to you?
Oh, they listen. What's wrong with you?
Oh, Jesus.
You're rude to women, and I don't like it.
Oh, rude to women. No, I'm not, actually.
Yeah, you kind of are.
No.
You've been rude to her, and they listen.
Well, and they know that I am a big fan of theirs.
Called her old.
A big fan of theirs. Well, I didn't know.
Beautiful couple.
I know they are.
Have you seen the wrestler family?
Okay, well, I didn't. Don't be getting the wrestlers all riled up.
The rest of their family.
Oh no, I thought you said the wrestlers.
Look at a picture of their family and tell me that's not a beautiful family.
Let me see.
Okay.
Show
and
me.
if you were 22 years old, living next door, you'd be creeping them out like no other. And those girls would not even look at you.
Like Seth.
Because they'd be like, look at this nerd boy over here.
From Sparks.
Yeah, they think you'd be Seth. So before you chirp, just,
I use my Sparks skate sharpener because of I went into the wall hard.
Sparks back on?
They're coming.
Hell yeah. Get him back, baby. Seth, man, I worry about him. I got to figure out where he's at. What place is Seth at? What's he doing? Concerned about that.
Well, we'll find out very, very soon. Stay tuned for
I think he's dressing like a woman now. I'm just saying.
Antifa.
Look up Antifa.
Okay. I know all about it.
Do you?
Seattle.
Do you?
Yeah. Seattle and some of that other
stuff. Oregon. Chaz, Oregon. Yeah. They took over that little town in Oregon. Chaz.
Yeah. Shilly Plastering.
Psychos.
Get plastered with Shilly Plastering. Right now at Proper Cannabis, you get 20% off by using our promo code CAMandStrick20. They've got the honeybee edibles.
Oh.
They've got the nighttime in case you're having trouble just shutting it down.
Downtown China.
You can get those pre-rolls. You can get those pre-rolls. You can get the flour. You can get the pens. You can do.
I begin text messages from people and they're like, Cam, I listen to you and Andy with my wife. And at first, she didn't like hockey. And she still didn't like hockey. But now she's saying, shit kicker. Downtown Chinatown, yoink. Like the women are saying it
All
now.
my lines.
All Andy's lines. Every single one. Andy came up with all those. They're all saying it, which just makes me feel good. The women folk.
And she's probably getting flavored water and sushi.
He didn't mention that. Swinging dicks. That's another one.
Oh my God.
They call her husband and their friends swinging dicks.
Proper cannabis. They've got like 11 stores statewide. Even all these other dispensaries, chances are they are selling proper products.
Big time.
But they've got a new location in Kirkwood for those of you who are located locally. Great website. You can order online, drive-through locations. It's the most convenient option you have. So do that and do that today.
I got Stone Cold Steve Austin again.
Did you?
And I watched documentaries on John F. Kennedy Jr. It's very interesting.
Yeah, wonderful family.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were. A lot of them have had tragedy. They've had a lot of tragedy.
Tragedy.
I know.
Holy shit.
I don't like it.
Look up John F. Kennedy Jr., like a perfect specimen.
Yeah.
Beautiful man, died in a plane crash. Remember that?
Yeah.
Where was he going?
Nantucket, I think.
Martha's Vineyard. You're right.
Martha's Vineyard.
Yep, and his private jet with his wife and his wife's sister.
Yeah.
And he fucked up. I know. He flew at night, and he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know how to read the gauges. He only knew a sign of light.
You know who else was cool?
Who?
Houdini.
Yeah.
Like, I was calling my daughter. She was getting all mad at me, Ivy, because she kept disappearing in the house. I was calling her Houdini yesterday. So they were all like, who's Houdini?
Look that up.
I'm like, they started watching it.
He's a little bit of a weirdo, but look him up.
Yeah.
And he died, I believe.
I'm like, you're like Houdini.
Watch what he was doing.
Who's Houdini?
Oh, look up a documentary on it.
I know.
I like that.
Yeah.
Anytime you say something like that, like, hey, Ivy, look that up on YouTube real quick.
Yeah, they always want to.
That's all you have to do.
That's
yeah, you do it a lot.
Teaching a lot of things. Cam at Bellman, you get no
swinging dicks, none of that.
Yeah, but you get flavored water and sushi.
But you got a lot of options.
I had some great sushi last night, by the way. Incredible sushi.
What'd you have?
Salmon and avocado and tuna and avocado. Those are my go-tos that I like.
Little rolls
with some like.
Do you eat sashimi?
Oh yeah, love sashimi.
Sashimi.
And
sushi shitter pants. Anytime I was.
What movie is that from?
Eric Bolton.
Oh,
who we love.
He would say that.
I go, let's get sushi. He'd be like, sushi shitter pants.
Hey man,
sushi shitter pants.
You got the Buick GMC on one side of the street. On the other side, it's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the other side.
Options.
All located where?
Try.
Say hi to Danny boy.
Danny, what up, homie? What's
Kenny.
up, babe? Kenny.
Dale.
The wintertime's coming.
Dale. Hey, listen.
It's coming, baby.
Dale's sending me great information, too, on everything going on right now. And they want to buy your car, too.
Yes.
They want to buy your... I just sent a buddy out there to get a pickup truck recently. Or no, a Jeep, actually. A Jeep as a third car.
Yeah.
You got a Jeep.
Yeah, man. They're fun. Dang fun.
All right, Swaggy P, man. You see him on Instagram. You see him all over the NHL events.
Interesting guy.
Dangling. Great hands.
Yeah.
You couldn't do a lot of that stuff.
No.
God. Most NHL players couldn't do it.
No.
We have a great conversation. It's fun. Enjoy this one, man. Swaggy P.
Love you guys.
The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link and do it today. www.firstform.com/camandstrick.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstform.com/camandstrick.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview.
Now I got dump trucks with and a front loader over there building a roller hockey rink at the moment, so I got to keep them inside.
At your house?
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Really? You're building it at the house?
At the house. I mean, I'll see.
Can you show? Yeah, let's see what's up.
Yeah, so I'm just walking. Sorry if it gets a little sunny.
You're good, baby.
So
where you at?
You in Vermont?
I'm in Vermont right now. Yeah,
beautiful.
I go to Korea on Friday.
For what?
North?
Not north, south.
Kim Jong-un
clinic. Yeah, exactly. So that's the big bulldozer, and this was all woods that I chainsawed down, and it's probably after today we'll tamp it down and then put some crushed rock, and then those are I don't know if you can see that, those are all the tiles for the roller rink.
Look at his driveway. How many acres you got? Hold on a second. How many acres you got?
This is 22 acres.
Oh, in Vermont? God damn, boy.
Where are you at in
22,
Vermont?
yeah. Right outside Burlington. So,
okay.
I mean, kind of got lucky, but we took situation we didn't want. We took, my wife's mother's house when she passed away. So it's amazing location and a blessing with all the land, but I wish we didn't have the house yet. If that makes sense.
I got you, man.
It's too much work. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, his mother-in-law passed away.
No, I get that, but you got 22 acres and you're doing a bunch of stuff. Like to take care of that has got to be difficult to sell too, right?
I mean, it's okay. Like my wife, we just had the second baby on Thursday, so she's been mowing. I've been itching to get on the mower, but she's held me back. So this is like now I get to mow, which I'm kind of happy about. I think I'm thinking I'm going to be cross-cutting the grass and everything. It's going to look terrible. But
it's going to look terrible,
dude. I don't think my wife has ever mowed a lawn in her life.
Oh yeah, but I mean, my wife was moving the dirt.
That's a funny.
She was moving the dirt before we had the truck loader here. So I was just like, oh, can you teach me? She's like, no, it's too dangerous. I'm like, awesome.
She's a shit kicker, man.
Yeah, she is. No, she's a keeper. So
we just hit record and we just go, man. We just have conversation. There's no
absolutely.
So you're putting a roller hockey like how much, like for people listening right now that have kids, that look up to you, like to put something like that on your property. Say some good old boys down here have some property a little bit here and there. Like, how much does that cost? Is it a pain in the ass? Is it realistic?
I mean, it's definitely kind of a pain in the butt to get it going. But I mean, the cool thing is like I can use this as a tax write-off because I'm getting paid to do videos that I will do on the rink. So it's kind of like. But I'm saying, like, if you're paying all this money to go to practices and your kid's really invested, I mean, you can put something like an ice surface with some chillers for. I know but when I say this, we all know the hockey parents, like $100,000 is not what it used to be. Like if you're really invested in it and you're like, hey, well, why can't we skate 7 months a year at our house by just adding a little chiller system? There's great companies like Custom Ice who will come in and their glycol mats, you can remove them, you can keep them in the ground. That, I mean, if you're talking an overall investment, it's not that bad. Okay. And I know $100,000 is a lot of money, but at the same time, when they're out there and they're going to this training and that training, and the kid really likes it, over 10 years, it's $10,000 a year. Obviously you'll have added electrical costs, but it's an investment.
I know, man. So listen, that easy ice, like, can you skate on that? Like, you can. It's not bad for your skates or whatever, right? Because some of the
what's the easy ice?
Was that what you just said? What'd you say? The company that will come in and put the ice in?
Oh no, so Custom Ice.
Custom Ice. Sorry,
I'm talking a chiller.
Like real ice.
I'm not talking fake ice. Yeah,
real ice. Because the fake ice, that'll kind of like whatever. I don't know. Every kid experience.
It is what it is. Yeah. I'm more if you're going outside with it like that, I would rather throw the rollerblades on, kind of have that feel. Then I mean, everyone has different opinions on the synthetic ice. Mm-hmm. I would rather put like a sport court style down. There's, if you want to go and play pickleball on it, you can as well.
Yeah.
So just you'll have more options and maybe some options for the parents as well. If you go the tile route instead of.
So this is ice.
Yeah,
so this is ice. Okay,
dude.
So I thought this was like a roller rink.
You're building a roller rink.
I'm building a roller rink. But I will be able to freeze it in the winter. But I have no refrigeration.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, you can with this type of refrigeration, you can run it at about 65 degrees outside.
It's a rink, man.
That adds 2 months, on the front and the back end of it. Plus, the winters haven't been that cold. So like now when we used to be able to skate 4 or 5 months during the winter, we're hitting days where it could be 45, 50 degrees in the middle of January.
I know, man. It's crazy. Where'd you grow up? Did you grow up in Vermont?
I grew up about 3 miles down from here in Shelburne, Vermont. So I'm a Vermont native.
Okay. Yeah, man, that's the way to go. I mean, a lot of kids now are getting the sport courts at their backyards and stuff like that. You know, it's really like there's like one company here locally that does it. I know there's two that say they do it, but there's one that really does it. And kind of like anybody who has a sports court is pretty much done by one company here in town. So they kind of like run it. But what's your take on the whole rollerblading versus ice skating?
Oh man,
you feel like
I love it. I absolutely love it. A lot of my videos, were sparked by. I'm a huge fan of skateboarding, and it's just like you can take a skateboard and kind of go wherever you want in the world and do it. And we have the technology now with the Bauer blade wrap or the green biscuit, and like you can go like. I was in Hawaii just fine. Like it's funny, people make fun of me, but I'm like chasing concrete. I'm like, oh man, that concrete is sick. Like I can stick handle on that, and like you don't need that much. And like what I try to tell the kids is like the kids we're training is like, yeah, I can teach you for an hour on a Tuesday, but the 7 days that lead up to the next Tuesday, like you got to put some work in on your own, or we're not going to evolve. And I think like when you see the skills and the stuff that I'm doing, that's just constant puck touches. Get out there, feel it out. That's when you're going to start to see a huge jump. But if you go to practice, you put your stick away, and you go to the next practice, there's only an elite few people who will take their dreams and make them a reality. By just doing the bare minimal.
I know, and the kids have to want to do it. But it's funny you say that because the parents are like, hey, Swaggy, we've been going to you now for 6 months, and he still is not doing X, Y, and Z, but like he's eating Doritos and playing video games throughout the day between the times that he sees you. So like, why isn't he getting better? Well, listen, getting the skills coaches and that can only enhance what you're doing, right? It can't be everything you're doing, but it can take maybe a good player and make him maybe a little bit better. But it can't take a bad player and all of a sudden make him really, really good, right?
And amazing example of this is we had a kid. We were shut down for 2 months during COVID, and he came back, and everyone was like kind of rusty. And this one kid, I was like, holy smokes! Like his skill. I'm not talking about gameplay because I don't really see a lot of these kids in some of the gameplay, but I'm like, his hands are so much faster. And they're like, yeah, he just, did the drills that you do with him for 30 minutes a day. And I was like, I mean, it's constant puck touches. That's what I can't under sell is like these kids need to take what we're doing. Cause I teach a lot of technical stuff. Like I have some parents come and they say, make my kid sweat. And I'm like, well, that's not my job. You can go in a sauna and sweat. I want to show them the things that they can take home and then continue to evolve so that the next time I see your kid, we can work on a different skill or continue to master that we're working on.
Okay, so what if a kid maybe lives in a poor part of town, he doesn't have that much room to work with, parents don't have much money, they can't afford the ice. What would you say? Clear out a little area. There's got to be a little spot where there's some sort of concrete. Like, what would you tell some of these kids?
There's roads everywhere. Yeah. There's sidewalks,
parking lots, man.
Whatever.
Tennis courts.
How many tennis courts are around that are now pickleball courts? And you're just like, there's always going to be a spot big enough of concrete where you can work on your skills. And that I take that as, I asked a kid, oh, is your driveway paved? No, it's concrete, or sorry, it's rocks. I'm like, okay, like what's the closest area? Okay. Is there a basement that you have? Like you don't need a ton of space. And obviously like it's just getting the stick handling skills or the shooting. Obviously you have to apply that to a game, but that's only going to make you feel more comfortable in those game situations if you're super calm and confident with the puck.
Hey, before we get into like your story and everything, but listen, when you were playing, were you doing a lot of roller hockey at the time? Like how do you look at like transitioning from roller to ice right now with a lot of kids, man? Like what's your suggestion there?
as a kid, I was always rollerblading around. We had a nice, 2-bay parking garage where I was just kind of buzzing around. And, I hear some people, it's like, oh, it'll mess like your stride up. I mean, it might feel awkward for the first 35 seconds, but it's only going to help the kid. You know what I mean? It's like they're so like worried about individualizing just on ice and stuff like that. I'm like, a lot of hockey is freedom and creativity. And if you're just stuck in this ice box, a lot of the things that I take from roller hockey, like just in my driveway, just messing around, I'm like, okay, could I do that on the ice? And then the next time I'm on the ice, I'm like, okay, that does work. Or, stick handling around the dogs. I'm like, oh, that move does work. Would this work on a defenseman? Sometimes no, sometimes yes. So it's a lot of trial and error and just having fun with it.
So like when you, because I watch your videos and I mean like the shit that you do, like Gomer couldn't even fucking do it. That's my boy. He looked like Andy. But
great.
Like when you teach these kids all these dynamic different moves, do they ever like try it in a real game and all of a sudden their head's up their ass and they get fucked up?
So I think that's a good point that you bring up. Like you see that stuff like online and whatnot. Like I'm not taking an hour lesson and working on Zorros. That would be like the last 5 minutes. I'm like, hey man, is there something you've seen me do that you want, or someone else that you've like, I just can't figure that out. Like all I work on is stick handling, shooting, tight corner work. And then at the end of practice with the last 5 minutes, I'll be like, guys, is there a Zorro you want to learn? But the thing is like, I don't know how you want to say it, but I've gone against KHL goalies. I've gone against NHL goalies. Like it's gonna happen in a game here. Like, they can't stop it unless they come and like, slash your stick and then it's another penalty shot. I mean, it is a very hard move, and you can say it's lacrosse style. You can say it's whatever. It's evolution.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're seeing the evolution now with the Michigans that we're seeing. Yeah. So, and listen, dude, and you know this as well as I do. I mean, there's 10-year-old kids that are doing Michigans in games.
Oh, 6-year-olds. I had a 6-year-old send me a video, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, don't try that every time you get the puck behind the net. But if the opportunity presents itself, by all means, go for it.
Yeah, I saw an 8-year-old do it last year in a game. You know what I'm saying? So it's the evolution that you're talking about. Like it's only a matter of time before we see, whatever. I mean, you just look at basketball as an example of how much the game is, and where we see all these crazy dunks and the athleticism and all these guys, man. I mean, you weren't seeing that back in the 80s as much, right?
No.
Guys were dunking, but not the way they are now. So, yeah, who knows, man? I mean, some of those are difficult to do in traffic, right? When guys are, playing for real and whatever. I mean, it's
90% of these are breakaway moves, right? Yeah, where there's no one around or a shootout situation.
Yeah.
I'm not telling a kid to go and try a Zorro on a one-on-one defenseman, but
you should. Like you should start doing that, Swaggy. You should just start telling.
He gets fucking rocked.
Do it in a 1-on-2.
yeah, exactly. See what happens. I mean, but it's super cool to see like the kids up and coming and the skill level. And, I think at some point it's going to come where, and, we've seen it a little bit where there's some kids who are so good, playing one-on-one situation. It's like, man, that's amazing. And I love it. And I love the skill and I love the creativity. But if you can't make a 10-foot pass, that creativity is not going to work for you. So it's like I said, it's all in moderation, right? There's a time to do it. There's a time not to do it. There's a simple pass where you don't have to put, a 4-foot marinara sauce on it. So there's simple plays, and then there's a time when the creativity can come out and really shine. And that's what I'm excited to see, as we go and as we try to, make hockey more appealing for non-hockey, because obviously we love hockey and we're biased, but how are we going to get someone who's I don't really understand hockey, and then they see a Zegras toe flip into a Michigan and you're like, oh shit, that's sick, And that's why I'm just like, as a whole, we're trying to grow hockey, and that stuff is only going to help rather than take the people who are stuck in the 1980s and being like, oh, it's bad for the game. Well, no, we're trying to grow the game. It's actually good for it.
Listen, last year, I was working the game on TV when Bedard scored the Michigan in St. Louis, and Gretzky was there, and I interviewed Gretzky right after. Yeah. And it kind of went by, and he was like, I could never do that. I mean, we're talking the greatest player ever, right?
The greatest.
And he's celebrating Connor Bedard, who's like coming in, 18-year-old rookie phenom, when he does it with Gretzky in the house, man. It was cool to get Gretzky's immediate reaction, too, just kind of going along with what you're saying.
I think that shows you, like, Gretzky's, he's for the, the evolution. And I think if he saw a kid Zorroing down the whole ice trying to go 1-on-5, he'd be like, come on. But when you see a kid with, Bedard, who plays the game right and then has the opportunity to pull the Michigan, you can only praise that. You know what I mean? And I think that's huge for the game of hockey, to see the greatest player to ever play, to be like, that's awesome. Not, oh, that's hot dog stuff and that's worthless. He's like, man, that's just super cool.
But there are some guys that are like, fuck this.
Oh yeah.
They're like, why is he doing that? He should get killed behind the net doing that. And so you do
break his wrist.
It's not the Philadelphia line anymore for the Legend of Doom or whatever, the Broad Street, the Broad Street Bullies. Like, that's not hockey anymore. There's rules put in place to protect players' heads and stuff like that. Like, you can say, oh, hockey's getting soft. I mean, if you watch this playoffs, there's still hard hits.
Oh yeah.
But it goes back to moderation. It's like, if you have your head down coming down the ice, you're probably gonna get hit. That's still part of hockey, but why not celebrate the youth and encourage it to try to help hockey in a whole, rather than be like, well, when I played in 1960, you would have got killed. Well, it's 2024. Yeah, man, it's time to move
smashed
on.
With a tree branch. But I will say this though, in NHL playoffs, there's not much cute shit going on. Like, it's all defensive. Like, who makes the first mistake? So like, if
they're
you
still
really
stopping on pucks,
they're stopping on. I mean, like, there's so many little things that, like, they're not trying that in the playoffs, and the regular season, I guess they do. So it hasn't evolved to the the highest mark yet, but it could.
It takes it for sure, and that's, I mean, it's still a process. These kids that are up and coming, I mean, Bedard's 18. Yeah. Could he do that, in 5 years and stuff? Yeah, for sure. I'm saying, it's an 82 game season through the regular season. There's a lot more opportunities to do that. But you see the goals that are getting scored. I remember one of Barkov's goals. I think he went between the legs in the playoffs. So there are bits and pieces starting to go into that scenario. But yes, it's not fully into the playoffs yet. I agree with that.
And Matthew Tkachuk, like, he took a one-timer between his legs at the buzzer against Nashville. I was like, damn, that may be the greatest goal I've ever seen.
Well, that's
honestly.
his only choice to do
from
at
like
the time.
30 feet out, like one
by
timer
any means, right?
You couldn't do anything
by
else.
any means. You got what you want, that cup, and if opportunity presents itself where you can score on a Michigan to send it into overtime, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
These goalies are so good, and the players are so good, so you got to take each little opportunity and try to make the best of it.
So let me ask you this, because I know you've done a lot of charity stuff, and you've been on the ice with a bunch of NHLers, and you work with Torrey Mitchell and whatnot. So who's the most skilled NHL guy?
I mean, it's not even a question.
Who?
It's not even a question. Sorry, Zegras.
Yeah, like he could do a lot of the shit that we see you do on video. He can do all of that.
I mean, his skill and the patience, and he is going to have a breakout year in the next couple. I mean, the skill set on him is amazing. Really something just fun to watch. And then you see some other guys, you go on the ice with them, and you're like, that guy plays in the NHL, but they do their whatever they're asked to do very, very well. But you know what I mean? It's different. If you're talking straight skill set, I don't know. There's not many people close.
More than McDavid?
I haven't been on the ice with McDavid. I know he does everything. Yeah, I see him. I mean, his speed is. I think it would be really cool. I've seen him live a couple times playing. I think it would be super cool. But I'm talking skill set with everything, with the cheeky moves, with the. I mean, I think it was Seattle. The one goal, he was flying down the ice, Zegras, and put it between his legs, top corner on. I believe it was Decord. I mean, that's full skill set. I'm talking. I put Zegras up there.
Here's the deal with Zegras, though. It's like, he's still trying to find his game, the all-around game, to get the trust of the coaching staff, the veteran guys, all that shit. There's no doubt, man. We've had him on here. We're big fans of his, dude. His dad listens to the pod. Right. Like, I'm just I'm like you, dude. I hope he has that breakout year. So
he will.
People can truly respect what he brings to the. Because I watched him play in the World Juniors and whatnot, man. This guy, it wasn't all about trick shots, man. His vision, his playmaking ability, his playmaking. This guy's a hell of a hockey player, man.
When BU came up to Vermont before he turned pro, it was kind of cool because you got to see him at the college level, and he's passing these backdoor passes at 100 miles an hour, and you're just like, he's too good for this. He needs that next level, and like he's been on kind of a struggling team with not too much help. With that same thing, I've seen Bedard live a couple times. I mean, when if he gets set up with a elite playmaker, I was excited to watch Taylor Hall and him, and then Hall got injured, but those guys are keening on those players because they don't want to get turned inside out, look stupid and stuff. So there's a little extra attention.
Got an old school GM in Anaheim, though, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to be in the right situation. Bedard, I think, probably has a little more wiggle room.
I'm not denying that.
Younger GM I'm there not denying. In Chicago. They want him to be the face. For some reason, I just feel like it's not a great fit for Zegras and Anaheim. Maybe he goes elsewhere.
I mean, I think you guys all agree. I don't know if he'll be a Duck for life.
Yeah.
And then when that situation gets presented, if he goes to a team with a little more help, or put him in a different style of role where he's more of a power play guy, and what his skill set alone is all I'm saying is his pleasure whenever I get to go on the ice and see that person.
Let me ask you this. Okay, so you love the skill. I get you on that, man.
Yeah.
Who was the first guy that started the fucking toe drag, that started to do the in-between stuff? I got my guy, and you're a couple years younger than me, okay? It's got to be Mario Lemieux. Greder didn't do it. Greder will spin off you. He'll make that backhand sauce. He'll do this.
What about Bure?
Yeah. Well, Mario came before Bure. Bure is going 100 miles an hour. Mario came in, and he was doing the toe drag. He was doing the in-between. He was doing crazy stuff. Was he the first guy? That's the guy I could think of.
For me, as I was watching it and really seeing it, it was the flair of Bure and Fedorov. And you have to think, I mean, you got Trouba and guys like that, but there was Scott Stevens on the ice.
Yeah, man.
When Bure's coming down 100 miles an hour, cutting middle, like that's insane. Like, you watch some of those old clips and you're like, oh my gosh. Like, there was one, I think it was Bure playing against Dallas in the playoffs, and he kind of gets hit.
Hatcher.
He laid an elbow. That would be I think a
Shane
3-season.
Shane Churla, yeah.
A 3-season suspension now, and there was not even a penalty on the call. Or sorry, a penalty on the play. And you're like, so for me, it was those guys, and then watching Marty St. Louis come up as a smaller player, and then he's starting to do these things, and he's going backwards on a penalty shot, and it's those guys paved the way. I mean, Datsuk came for sure after, but I mean, he's a magician.
Datsuk, yep.
Hey, remember when Merrick Malik in the shootout went between his legs?
In MSG.
It was like the 8th round or something, and everyone was like, "Oh
against
my
Washington.
God, what is?" And it's like, he's not even like a star skilled guy, right?
No, No.
But he was willing to do it because a lot of you know how the old school guys are.
Like
They're
the
like, man,
15th guy.
if I tried that back when I played, somebody would have broken
my wrist. The thing is
wrist.
like I mean, he pulled it off, but who's gonna beat him up if they're like, oh, you're a hot dog? He's like, all right, you want to fight? Let's do it. I mean, the guy was 6 foot, what, 8?
He's 6'8" or whatever.
He's still European. It's all good.
Had you ever, when you played, like whether it was college or game, did you ever try any crazy shit on the ice?
Yeah. I tried the Michigan twice in college. I hit it. I hit the post against Providence, and then I kind of fluffed it against UNH. And that was cool. I mean, the backhand toe drag. At that point, I would do on breakaways and stuff that was considered flashy and whatnot. Between the legs a couple times. But that was kind of like the at that time was like, whoa, what's this guy doing? So it was but that was probably the craziest stuff in college.
So like, okay, how tall are you?
5'5".
So you watch Marty St. Louis and you're like, God damn, like this guy's
grew up
doing
watching
it,
him,
baby, spinning guys off. His legs are tree trunks. Where you're like, I want to be him. I got the skill set. Like how, like were you thinking that way? Like and how did it go down? I mean, with the skill you have, it must have been somewhat easy for you to kind of dangle around guys in college.
For sure. There was definitely, I think the biggest thing that, like as my career evolved and past college, I think for me, the biggest thing was consistency. Where I could be the best player on the ice, or I could just kind of go in this little shell and I was useless. So yeah, I mean, I grew up watching Marty at UVM, and then obviously followed his pro career, and I mean the dynamic duo of Marty St. Louis and Eric Perrin. You saw Perrin play a little bit in the NHL, but Marty was the star. And when those guys were here, it was like both of them were rock stars. So, you know what I mean? I think Marty he had that no quit type of mentality, and he's just like, I'm going to be an NHL superstar, and he clearly made that come true.
All right. So when did you first start doing all the trick shots, and when did you realize you could make money doing it? Like, were you the kid like at home, like your mom, like looking out the window, and you're just doing some crazy like lacrosse?
I was just obsessed with hockey. Like I had a backdoor rink, I had the stuff, but it wasn't like a lot of the crazy stuff. It was just stick handling and like going on vacation, taking the stick and a tennis ball with me, and I always loved like the creative side of hockey, of like how that was. And when we first started, Elevate, it was kind of like, oh, okay, like I want to try to promote our business of like, stick handling. And if you continuously work on it, this is the type of speed you can have with stick handling and puck control. And then like at no point at all during that process was I like, I want to make money doing this. It was like, I'm trying to push people from, a social platform to come and train. And then it kind of morphed into some trick shots and stuff like that. And I mean, we have a camp in Vermont that's 2 weeks of boys and 1 week of girls overnight. We had just under 300 kids in 3 weeks this year, and that's zero advertising. That's just from social media.
Damn, man.
So that's like when people are like, oh, I want to do this or be an influencer, it just kind of happened. But the main point was to push the business.
Dude, I remember, I did this way before you. You probably stole my idea because I was toe dragging cougars back in fucking 04, baby. What's up? You rollerblading around.
In the park.
That was
and
COVID.
A couple times I'm like this.
The paved path.
A couple times I'm like, I'm going to toe drag this woman walking her dog, and I toe pick and fall into her. And she's like, I might sue you. So, like, are you cruising around and you're dangling all these people? Are people like, get the fuck out of here?
Or do you tell these, like, stores before you go in there?
Like,
that,
what are you doing here?
I'm going to be bringing in some cameras and...
I might fall into you.
I just go.
You just go?
I just go.
Okay.
Did they kick
and the
you
thing
out?
is, too, is like the reactions. I've been politely asked to leave a mall one time in Vegas. But a lot of the time, it's not skateboarding. So they're like, what's this guy doing? Like, that's kind of cool. Like, okay. And I'm like, hey, they'll come up. They're like, you're really not supposed to be rollerblading and stick handling, like, in a mall. But like, I was like, man, if you give me 5 minutes, I'll get out of your hair. No questions asked. Like, I have enough control. I'm not going to run into someone. And they're like, all right, get your clip. And then some, security guards want to be in the clip. So honestly, it hasn't been many times where someone's like, dude, get the hell out of here. Like, I don't want this here. They're kind of like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, cool.
Well, no offense. You're not robbing the place like it's happening now. So you're putting on a show and then you're out. So
a lot of people ask, towards the end, they'll be like, where do I see it? And if you don't mind, add in a tag for the for the store or whatnot. Schools, I have to ask before I go in.
Like, you'll tell them.
You should do
if
that.
they come up to you, be like, hey, listen, I'm a YouTube guy, like whatever. I'm just doing some content, whatever. And then
exactly, and 90% of the time, even higher up than that, they're super cool. At one time on the Vegas Strip, we actually got thrown in handcuffs, and it was like a weird situation because I'm like, we're just kind of like rollerblading up and down the strip. And then they were taking it super serious, but then like before they just let us go, they kind of like looked at it was me and on the bench boys, and they were like, your video guy got the clip, no? And we're like, wait, did you just put us through that and then ask that question? So it was like, how serious were they actually? But at the time, I was like, oh, we might be going to the Vegas prison right now.
Why? Why'd they put you in handcuffs for what? Like, did they warn you?
Reckless endangerment, just going through the streets. I mean, I was weaving through cars and whatnot.
Did you get that on video?
I got it on video. Yeah, it did well.
What do you think?
Did you post it? Oh yeah, okay, good. I want to check that out.
Yeah. I'll send you the.
Can I say something about skateboarding? Though, but you keep bringing up skateboarding, and how I look at skateboarders when I went to high school in late 90s, early 2000s. You're a loiterer. You're not skateboarding. None of them were good. They just skate. They're like, I'm telling my parents, I'm skateboarding. Then you go in front of a fucking supermarket and you stand there and smoke darts the whole time. So like, rollerblading.
I'm talking like the Nigel Houston who's out there ripping like the schools and doing. Exactly. I'm not talking about the. Exactly. So that. Yeah, exactly. So I mean,
they got skate parks everywhere nowadays, man. It's packed.
Yeah. We're in the Midwest, dude.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, skateboarders here are just like loitering in front of a grocery store.
They got a bad reputation. There's a lot of that. Exactly. Yeah. I'm talking about those guys who see a rail and they're like, I gotta hit this rail. That's for me. Like, I go to a location that overlooks some amazing view, and I'm like, that's a spot I would love to. When I say skateboarding, I'm not talking about the hanging out, being a delinquent.
Smoking darts with the big jean coats on.
The Jankos were elite, dog. I thought they were going to make a comeback, but
I did that.
I had the Jankos. I won't lie.
Do you go by? You like people to call you Pete or Swaggy? Like
it's two Swaggies.
Because there's a basketball Swaggy.
It all depends on like the like my wife's not calling me Swaggy by any means, but like, like if I'm like around a setting or something, people would just go be like, oh, Swag. And you're just like, yeah. And like my close friends, it's all Pete. So.
Okay. So how many sponsors do you have? Like, I mean, like legit, like that are paying you legit money and you're really working for them. Like, cause you're a Bauer guy, right? Are there other ones besides that?
Bauer guy. And Bauer, I have a phenomenal relationship with. Like, I don't. That's and that's where things come a lot to our back end business of teaching kids to the social media, which is kind of two separate businesses. I mean, Dunkin' Donuts to Bauer to DraftKings to Green Biscuit to stuff like that. But it's different relationships of, hey, here's this product. Can you do a video with it? Whereas like Bauer, it's like a family and it's, I'm not asking them for any type of money, but our skill coaches at our facilities get gear and stuff like that. And I owe a lot of the success to them because when they came early on, they asked Ricky, who works at Bauer, he was like, listen, do you want money or do you want to grow? I said, I want to grow. You know, and he's like, I can put you in amazing situations that can help with that. Get your viewing up and stuff like that. But, you know, are you going to be loyal, or are you going to jump from one company to another? And I said, I mean, I was fake having Bauer send me stuff when it was early on. I'd be like, oh, look at this Bauer sling they sent me. I was buying them from Deer Hawk, you know? And then when he called, he's like, who's sending you this stuff? I was like, no one. I'm just kind of making it up. He's like, all right, well, we gotta let's you know, get some type of partnership. So I think it's a lot of different things. You know, when people ask, you know, how do I make money on Instagram? It's like, well, I mean, is your content good? Because that's what's going to get a brand to be like, oh, I would love to have this person do a video for me because they make cool content. So I've said no to a lot of brands because I'm like, man, first of all, I don't believe in your brand. I hate to say it, not in a negative way, but it's just not something I would use. And then the second is I can't make it so it's not like in your face, oh, you know, grab this beer and drink it and you'll be Superman, where it's not like super corny, or where it would be super corny. So that's a big thing when I'm talking to brands, is would I use this product on my own? And how can I incorporate this product in my content if I don't already, just by me enjoying the product?
Hey, what about that? So you say green biscuit, like those little green biscuit pucks that don't roll. Those are the best for like outdoor, man. You could sauce them, you could do all your shit. Those are pretty old. Like I used those back in the day. So, but another thing is like, so you got the green biscuit, but like, do any NHL teams contact you and say, hey, I want you to come out with the boys and fucking teach them a couple things in the corner, teach them a couple things here and there? Like, is that what you want to do? You want to be a skills coach for an NHL team someday?
I mean, I've worked with NHL guys and different stuff, or they've DM me asking what curve I use or questions like that. I mean, I would love to grow it, you know, with my business partner Tori, and to the point where we have enough income coming in where I'm out teaching for free in these places that might not be fortunate to afford hockey. So I think that's the long-term goal. Do I love working with high-end players? Absolutely. It's super fun, and you can show them do new moves or things that potentially could work in the game. But the long-term play is to continue to grow hockey, and make it, you know, a more accessible sport for potential superstars that may never get the opportunity to have a hockey stick.
All right. So a couple things here. How many people do you have on your like content team? Like, is it just your wife with an iPhone? What's so set the scene for us? Like, who's filming?
All depends. I you know, I've had a couple different filmers. I know we have this one girl, Eileen, who was kind of interning with us for the summer, who will continue, who has like the sharper camera stuff. But honestly, like say I go out on a trip to, you know, I'm in Denver and there's a thing and I'm kind of just out by myself. I'll be like, hey man, here's $20. Can you just film for 5 minutes? Or, you know, it kind of all depends. And you know, she'll edit some videos. I do a lot of editing myself with the iPhone stuff, like, or, you know, at the end of a training session, I'll give the kid, who I just trained, I'll be like, hey, we'll give you $10 off. Just film for 5 minutes and shots. And so it's kind of that I would love to get to a point where I have a full-time video person. But it's just so many moving parts of, going different places and whatnot that adds up the costs very, very quickly when you got to add extra rooms, extra flights, food.
Oh, yeah.
So you still want to make it worth going on these trips. And you're like, I want to grab the content, but it's tough when, you know, these video people are not that cheap. Yeah, exactly.
I know. It costs a lot of money. So what was your first viral video? And then
I took,
and then what's the most viewed or the highest, whatever, however you want to like define viral, whether it's likes or shares or whatever video that you've done?
So the first video that went viral where I ended up starting to turn my notifications off, it was a one-timer with the Bauer sling stick. did a little unboxing, took a one-timer, and it blew up a water bottle. That was like, okay, there's something here. People are liking it and enjoying it. So that was the first one where I was like, hey, it was kind of like addicting. You're like, oh man, this is awesome. And then there's the one clip, I believe it was an Air Toei, that on Instagram has 32 million views, just on our page.
Damn. So so you have a YouTube channel, you've got the Instagram. What's the best platform to share? Like if you wanted to go viral as quick as possible and reach as many eyes as possible, what's the best platform?
I don't know why I always had this like Instagram thing in my head. I think it's easier sometimes to go viral on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
You were just really scraping the surface of YouTube right now, but Instagram was something that I was super focused on from early on. I don't know, it just felt harder to grow on Instagram, and that was like a cool challenge. So it's trial and error. You could have the same video do 20 million views, and you post it 6 months later, and it hits 5,000 views. So it's all trial and error, with a bunch of the stuff. But it's kind of like a fun little game, I guess.
So what if Vladdy Putin's like, listen, Swaggy, I need you to come out here. I know I'm in a war with Ukraine. I know everybody hates me, but I need you to come out here. I'm gonna pay you $2 schmil. I'm gonna play in this league. No, you're getting paid no. You're getting paid $2 fucking schmillion American dollars, and you're coming to
the KHL. Baby.
How would you do in a 70 game, whatever they fucking play over there? How would you do with that big ass ice? It's skilled. Like, would you dominate? Yeah. Would you keep up?
In your prime, especially.
I mean,
he looks like he's in his prime right now.
That's it's actually interesting because I've like, gone back and forth, like, and I'm like, I think 5 games, 10 games in the NHL, I wouldn't look too out of place. You know what I mean? But I think that's where the big difference is from 10 games to 82. Is there going to be times where they're like, man, this guy's like no chance? Or is it enough where you've learned to be like, okay, like, the last 5 games, I haven't played well, analyze that as you go. So, we've been trying to pitch it a couple times of just like let's do a training camp, why not? You got a team like San Jose, who's, I mean, they won 15 games last year. Just like we'll see. We'll put them in training camp. See what happens.
Film it
and give some exposure.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. We're like, so
we'll get you in there. We're gonna call Dougie Wade right now.
We're pushing, like this, like make a series out of it. It's just like, see what happens. I don't know. You take a guy who played and took some years off, and then it's like, okay, he's just been doing skill work. Like, is it enough to go? Like, why not? So like
Swaggy, get the fucking puck out of the ice. Out of the zone.
Quit toe picking, Swaggy.
It could be. I mean, it could. You know what? And I think that's the. You don't know, and it could be everyone saying, oh, these, just it's not enough, or like, oh my gosh.
I'd watch that, dude.
Yeah.
I would watch.
I would watch it, biasly, but I don't know.
A bunch of kids would watch it too. All your whole audience would be like, let's see what our boy fucking Petey's doing. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was the funny thing is I hadn't put full gear on before I went to the 3 ice tryout a couple years ago, and I'm seeing all these kids who are like just played a game in the coast like the year the week before, the American League, or they're flying over from Europe, and I'm like, it was like the first time in my life, like, because preparation was always something, like I wanted to be in shape. Like at least I'm in shape, and then I'll figure the rest out as we go.
Yep.
And I was like, I might be over my head, and then I was like, what's the worst that can happen? I look like an idiot. They say it does, this and that. And then I was like, after the first practice, I'm like, this is pretty easy,
mm-hmm.
you know? And it was like, kind of like saying like, okay, maybe I see the game in a different way now, or I'm using these moves. And it was just kind of like, okay, well, you know, I made a team. Now I got to get in shape. And that's when it was like, okay, that was cool, you know, but that was the first time in my life I was like, oof, did I just set myself up for disaster? And I was like, I don't know. What are they going to say? Like, I wasn't good enough? Sure. Great.
So what?
But exactly. So that's why I'm like, hey, listen, like, you know, we were close last year with the Chicago Wolves to doing a training camp thing. But I want the heat. Give me the NHL training camp. You know, what are they? After 4 days, if they're like, this guy's he's a joke, sure.
So what?
Okay, we tried
the
it.
NHL needs the marketing. They need the marketing.
Yeah.
They're all robots up there. They need a guy like you.
Hey, but the NHL, they use you for, like, they invite you to a lot of stuff, right?
Oh, the NHL how many All-Star games
you been to?
Yeah. No, I've been to the last 3. I mean, the social content of the NHL, I mean, absolutely amazing. This was a different.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah. And you're not saying that.
No, the NHL has been nothing but amazing.
But the NHL has invited you to where? Like, you've gone to
the draft, the Winter Classics, all the All-Star games, and that's been amazing. And then sometimes I'm like, you know, Neil, I work closely with at the NHL. I'm like, why are you paying me, man? I'll come for free. This is amazing, you know.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Swaggy,
you gotta get paid.
Get fucking paid by them. They're cheap.
Hey,
let them pay you.
I thought that.
But I'm saying, I love the experiences. You know what I mean? It's one thing. Yeah, you got to provide and stuff, and it's different with 2 kids. But for me, it's the experiences that really matter more than the. You know, the dollar signs.
Yeah, well, that P stands for paid.
Yeah. No, you get fucking paid. Okay, PD.
Come on.
I'm getting paid. I'm not gonna.
Come on now. Hey, but like, my kid's been at, like, tournaments where, like, the bench clears, like, show up and stuff like that, man. Yep. When I told him you were coming on, like, we've had a ton of guys on, man, over 300 Hall of Famers, the biggest names in the history of the game. Like, he was pumped up that you're coming on. They all watch your shit.
They love you.
Are you aware of that? And, like, how do you guys all get along?
I love the kids,
is there competition with all the other YouTube guys, the Nashers of the world? Are you guys all buddies? You hang out?
No, buddies. I mean, the thing is, too, is like, we're all in this, and then, you know, all the kids will ask here and they're like, oh, 1v1, like, who would win? I'm like, man, some of these guys they didn't even play hockey. Like, it's not about that. It's about, like, you know, the content that they share, and everyone's got kind of a different little area. And it's just like, you know, we've talked about all the hockey guys coming together and doing like a month hockey house, and just trying to create and grow together, rather than like this guy growing on his own, this guy. So, you know, all those guys, Chippy, Barber, Nash, Zach, all great guys.
Who's the best player of all those guys?
Who's the most skilled?
Who can play? Like, really play?
I mean, that's a great question. I mean, I would say Barber would be probably the closest to playing, but I mean, I think he stopped organized hockey at like 12.
Really?
I think so. I think Zach maybe played to 15, and then he had the concussion problems.
Who's that? Who's Zach?
Always hockey. Zach.
Okay.
Zach Bell. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, Nash is a pretty decent pretty good roller hockey player. It's always fun getting out with those guys. I think it's just a little bit different because, you know, I played at Division I and stuff like that.
Dude,
so I try not.
Yeah.
It's not much of like, oh, you can't really play hockey. It's like, well, man, we're shooting videos mostly. So, but that I would say, like, that the one video I would really like to do would be that NHL training camp.
We're gonna make that happen, dude.
No, we are gonna make that happen. Just so you know. But is there anybody that you watch that's unbelievably skilled, and they do a fucking thing, and you're like, I can't do that?
Besides Cam.
Besides Andy, when he toe picks and falls on the boards.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think it's like cool when you see someone like, I mean, in the trick shot area,
Yeah.
You know, it's Barb's, Bell, Always Hockey, and myself. And I think there's always like, what can come next? I think for me, the biggest one was inventing like the air toe drag. And
you invented
now
that.
Yeah, that was the first for that one, and it was just kind of like, now it's like, what next? You know what I mean? I've tried it backhand, didn't go nearly as viral as that, but it's always cool to be like, oh, kind of like, what have you been working on in the dark, you know? And then something like that. So I got a new one I'm working on right now that's you know, pretty. It's got a vision of the air toe drag in it and stuff, and it's all good fun. So it's just kind of seeing like what can evolve from it. And do I ever think the air toe drag will be used in the game? Probably not, but it looks super cool on video.
You never know.
Let me know. I'll send Cam down. He'll hold the phone for $10. You can pay him $10.
I'll give you a raise. I'll give you $12.50.
I'm cheap. I do things for free now. But like even like 20 years ago, when somebody did the Michigan, although the guy from Michigan that did the Michigan,
Mike Legg.
Yeah, it should be the leg.
The leg.
Why are they calling it the Michigan? Fuck them.
Great question.
The leg.
Great question.
They did that. If Connor Bedard would have done that in juniors and no one saw it, that would have been a Bedard. So why are they calling it the Michigan?
They started calling the Michigan the Svechnikov one because he was the first NHL guy to do it. And I was like, wow, you got to pay homage here. Homage?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Homage.
We messed up.
You know what I mean? You got to. That was Mike Legg out of Michigan.
Legg,
you know, like
yes.
He's the one who did it. So, you know, you can call it the Michigan because they had big Michigan written across the chest, but Mike Legg he did it. He did it.
You don't get any
give
credit.
me a superstar that you were on the ice with, like legit NHL star that just could not do this shit. Besides Gomer.
Oh God, Gomer looked bad.
Yeah, it was Gomer. I mean, it was. I mean, not that he couldn't do it. I mean, he was really good.
Dude,
but,
most of them.
He couldn't do it.
If you put a
Gomez was like this and that, but I mean, it wasn't. I mean, Eichel was doing everything awesome, you know. But it was just cool for him to say, like, the small area rinks. He's like, oh, this is super useful. You know, like he was doing the drills, and he's like, you know, my full end speed is phenomenal, but it's like rolling out of the corner, tight cut back, and then getting that puck on the net. He was just like, I really enjoy this. This is like this. I feel like this could help my game.
Because Elevate, you have a small rink there, right? But do you do your camps on a full size?
It's all small rinks. So we have towards the end of this year, we'll have 8 locations.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Where are they at?
So we have Vermont is the OG. We have Andover, Boston. We have South Shore, Boston. We have New Jersey, Bridgewater Township. Vegas is about a week from having ice. And then we have Denver, which is December opening, about a mile from DU. We have Tampa Bay, who's probably January-esque. And then the one I'm super I'm excited about all those. The super excited one is our second location in Vermont that is going to be 60 by 100 feet. So it's about triple the size of our ice right now. And that project should be done October 1st.
So you just hire different people to run these rinks. I mean, you can't be in 8 different places at once.
No. We have different skill coaches and stuff, and they'll come and they'll work with us, and then we'll put them in their locations. And we have different owners, and then they pay us.
Why don't you bring one to St. Louis? Like, let's go.
Oh, I would love to. I talked to a couple people from St. Louis here and there, but at the moment, what it is, it's like someone who has the funding, who wants to be part of it. They might have the skill coach, they may not, and then we kind of, get in there and
so you like franchise them, basically, is what you're doing, right?
Yeah, we call them satellites right now, but yeah, we're not a franchise business.
You're like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, we are not like Chick-fil-A because we're open Sundays. We're open Sundays.
Yeah,
there you go.
No, but eventually it could go the franchise route, but right now we're calling them satellites.
Yeah, man.
Damn, man. You got a good thing going,
So
dude.
how often are you filming?
Not every day, something, depends on what it is, but every day normally filming something.
And you're posting shit every day too?
No, I would 4 or 5 times a week.
You ever post any bullshit, like where you toe pick and you fuck up?
I've done a couple like goalie saves, or like I go to take a big one timer and my stick breaks and I fall, and
those are good. You need to humanize yourself.
Yeah, right. Or I did what I haven't posted it yet, but I was in New York City at that cool roller rink, and I shot one, and it went into a section like a 5-car cross section, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna hit someone's windshield. And when I saw that thing land and it didn't hit anything, I was like, okay, I'm good. But there's always some funny moments.
I'm gonna have you come out to my kid's birthday party. Okay, we're gonna
cost you $100,000.
I would love to. I would love to. $100,000. I would love to.
Where are you gonna be? Any appearances coming up this hockey season? Like where are you gonna be?
Yeah, I'm doing a bunch of stuff with the Quebec Major Junior. In February, I believe I'll be at the Four Nations Cup. Friday I go to Korea. October is Mexico City, Spain, Germany, Chicago, and Wheeling in, I think, 17 days.
The Wheeling
Dude, you went from fucking Korea to Mexico to Wheeling, goddamn West Virginia.
Hey, who are you working for to do all this? Is this your own shit, or is like somebody sending you?
People hire,
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, when you're toe dragging in like California, these good-looking women walking down the street, are any of them like, oh my God, what are you doing? You are a sexy...
Is that Pete Lenes?
You are an athlete. I
love you. No, it's more like the 12-year-old kind of like the boys who really like that. So people are like, oh man, you're on social, like it's going crazy. I'm like, yeah, no, it's great. I mean, my audience is like 9 to 12-year-old boys mostly. We'll get some older,
just asking
here and there, but no.
Dude, my kid's 8. They all know who you are.
Everybody loves you.
Yeah, no, it's super fun. I mean, I remember it was like the kid, and I always say like sometimes you'll have a kid ask you to sign like 12 different things, and you're like, if that's what they want, I mean, they help propel this business. So I got.
They're
all
not like LeBron.
For the kid.
Where LeBron sees a kid and
that clip with the picture, and he's like, "Oh, what? I don't know what that was."
Stop.
He sucks.
Well, I don't know what that was about. Where he like shoot him. He's like, "Oh, don't do that." Or I mean it, and I know he's massive superstar, but it's like, I mean, these are the kids. Like that's a one opportunity they might see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
LeBron, like, if you don't have time for the kids, I have a hard time believing that like you're too cool for that. So
right.
I know.
For me, it's the kid. The kids are great. They come, they train with us. Some kids don't train with us, which is absolutely fine. But it's like those kids. I know that I look up to some of the people that I really enjoyed as a kid, and if that, I always remember. I think it was Colby Jones, a soccer player. I looked up to him. I wrote him a nice letter.
Yeah.
That never wrote back. And,
really?
I mean, that's tough as a kid, Like I know that it's a lot, but you gotta have someone to send them a card and something. So
sometimes that gets fucked up in the mail, just so you know. But if you see a guy one-on-one and you shun him to the side,
I know.
Then you're a joke.
Colby Jones, he had the dreads, right?
Yeah, he had the dreads. It was. I don't know if it was after a World Cup or Olympics or something. It was like,
he probably never even got it.
Yeah. Maybe never got it. But I agree. If you get kind of pushed away from a photo or something, I
can't do that.
I understand people are busy and they're having different parts of their days where they're not maybe at their best. But I think it's always, no matter what type of day you're having, if someone wants a photo with you, I think that's something to be proud of.
You're the real deal.
Hey, last thing.
You're the real deal, baby.
Thing for me.
Oh yeah, I'm good.
How long you think you'll be able to do this? Like, you think you see yourself doing this at like 60 years old? Like, just
I don't see why not. I mean, you see these people, and then I'm like, oh, maybe it's a this and that, and then I'm like, nah, man, there's some rad people out there who are older that are still ripping. I'm like, we'll see. So I love it. It's a passion of mine. I just don't think I could ever put the stick down, you know, personally. So if you know, people start to lose interest or something like that, and maybe I'm not filming everything, but I think that will always be a part of my life.
Your wife loves it. She's all supportive of it. She doesn't think you're crazy.
She thinks I'm crazy for sure.
That money's coming in
supportive.
now.
She is definitely supportive. But you know, sometimes on a family vacation, she's like, "Am I really sitting here filming you when you could be at the beach?" I'm like, 25 minutes. Give me 25 minutes a day to film something, and then if I don't film one day, I can kind of stockpile it for the next. But no, super supportive, and it's crazy now. Just I'm not going to be one of those hockey parents that like forces their kid if they want nothing to do with it. But our 1-year-old wakes up in the morning, grabs his stick, and he just holds it. Like we say, it's like, you know, his it's his little like
his blankie.
So he's not nervous or whatever. He just got his stick and he's holding. He whacks it, you know, a puck here and there. But I was like, you know, if he wants to grow up and being a hockey player, amazing. If not, that's all right as well.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah,
hey,
dude.
Congrats on all your success, buddy. Dude. I'm glad we got you on.
We appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate it. No, thank you. Yeah, someone sent me the clip from you guys talking after the shoulder check game, and so I think we actually clipped that sound bite to put on a video with some music. So I appreciate you guys.
What was it?
What was that? I don't remember.
I was just saying, like, you know, oh, that shoulder check game was cool, and then, you know, he's doing his thing, and the kids love him, and you know, keep growing the game. It was about growing the game.
Okay, good.
Yeah. No, we weren't.
I mean, you could have chirped me too. We probably still would.
Definitely not.
We chirp everybody chirps everybody.
Yeah, but we don't.
Yeah, no. If you can't take the chirp, I mean, it's just like, come on, just lighten up.
You got a good attitude.
I know. Keep doing your shit, man.
Thanks, guys.
Man, homeboy.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We'll touch base with you.
Yep.
I'll see you, buddy.
Okay, guys. Yeah,
right
thanks
on,
a lot.
The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by Bellman. BEHLMANN. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy,
Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Right on the other side, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. All right, that was Swaggy P, man.
Cool cat, man.
That was cool.
He's got a good thing going.
So, listen, and if you have a kid, especially a kid who plays hockey, you appreciate these guys, dude, because the kids get into it, man.
Big time.
All these guys. Coach Chippy, I'll give you a shout out. You know, Pavel Barber, all these dudes, man. They're all doing their thing. Even Cane Man Gate, man, here locally, he's doing his thing.
Give a little shout out, buddy.
Yeah. So, all these guys, man, like, they just kind of found their niche in the social media realm. With hockey, I think it's helping to grow the game. I like how the NHL includes these guys.
Me too.
I don't know if we need to have guys, you know, showing up to NHL camp. Like if I'm an NHL GM, like you're not coming to my camp to like just like try out. Like I got guys who are like grinding it in the minors that like need to try out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's one guy that's not going to be doing it that deserves it because you got him. Although,
but if
you
I
need to pump your market up a little bit.
Yeah, but if I wanted to, but I would invite you to camp and do some shit between sessions.
Yeah, as a coach,
put on a show.
Yeah.
For the kids that are in attendance, and sign some autographs.
I wouldn't slot him in as.
But I'm not having you like play in the training camp scrimmages and stuff like that.
No,
like we're trying to win a fucking cup. We're trying to like set a standard.
This isn't YouTube.
No. Well, and so, but I understand what he's saying. He gets that too because he is a hockey player, Swaggy. He played hockey, but like I would bring him if I was an owner. I'd bring him to the camp though, and let him put on a show.
It depends on what owner it is. Like, am I doing that if I'm the Rangers? No. If I'm doing that if I'm the Red Wings or the Boston or anything, I'll do that if I'm Utah. I'll do that if I'm fucking Anaheim or whatnot.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, you don't need the attention too much. Columbus, you damn right.
They can bring that Nasher on board. They get the gamer.
Maybe guy. Carolina to get some spark.
Kids all know who Nasher is too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you know,
Columbus is probably
he lives there in Columbus.
Yeah, that's like number one.
Yeah,
I would say
they just
come on
bring him up. But you're not having like, oh, hey Nasher, you want to play in the preseason?
Well, you'll get rocked.
Game against the Red Wings tonight.
You'll get rocked. You'll be like this, bam.
Oh my god,
you get rocked.
Yeah,
but damn, is he skilled, man?
Yeah, they can do like the celebrity charity games and
shit,
and get away with that type of shit.
Are people saying that he should go to camp?
No.
Okay.
But I know he said he'd love to go, and you were saying, like, hey, why doesn't somebody bring you in and do it, you know?
Yeah, I don't even remember saying that.
But he was cool, man. He had a great story. I love how he talked about, like, Eichel, how good his hands are.
Yeah.
Zegras saying he's the one guy who can pull off all this shit.
Yeah. As far as like sticking,
and a lot of guys just can't do it. I give him a lot of credit, man. He's built something.
Yeah, I like him.
Anybody who
humble too
builds something, and he's got all these Elevate O2, whatever it is, these Elevate Performance Centers where kids are going to camp and they're training and all that. He's got like 8 facilities.
He's doing damn good work.
Dude, he's doing a lot of good
him
shit.
And Tory Mitchell.
Tory Mitchell too, man.
Give him a shout out. We'll get him on next too. By the way, actually,
Montreal.
We got somebody else on next.
Oh, you guys, we got a big dog coming. Yeah.
Should we just tell him?
No, let's wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's coming in live, by the way.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup champion.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Looking forward to that.
Big boy.
All right. Again, enter our sweepstakes first form. Send us your order anything from first form. You are automatically entered when you send us your order number, and then you're in the drawing, and you may get a prize pack from first form and Cam and Strick.
What about one of these bad boy hats, dude? We got some badass Cam and Strick hats, including what first form is going to give you as well. So it's just a nice prize package. You guys are already buying for first form. All you got to do is take a picture and send us a receipt.
Yeah. Bench clears. Bench clears, man. Again, use our promo code, Cam and Strick. And
right here. Get a Quebec Nordiques, get an old Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, Cam and Strick, use our promo code. You're gonna save 20%. Men, women, youth. They got all teams. NHL, American League teams too.
Yeah.
Some of these American League jerseys are sweet.
Are awesome. I got a badass I can't wait for it to get cold here.
Yeah.
I'm a cold weather guy.
Me too. I like the fires.
I know. I like to wrap up. Like my house feels so much cozier, like everything.
I'm seeing leaves starting to fly around.
They're starting to. Isn't that a good feeling?
Yeah.
You'll start to smell it a little bit.
I know.
You'll smell a bonfire.
Well, I've got my Canadian maples in my yard, my Canadian maple trees.
Yeah, they're nice.
Yes, the Morning Glory Canadian maple. These beautiful trees that I planted, they were this big, man.
Are they looking good now?
Oh, and they turn bright red, and orange, and yellow.
God, ours turned purple.
Oh, my God.
We have a tree that turns
Yours
purple.
is like Antifa. Cam's got an Antifa tree.
We have an Antifa, and it's going to break my windows and burn my house down.
Hat launch, man. Get the hats for the office, for the any organization, man. Number one, and it turn it around so fast.
Yeah.
And they are the absolute best. They say it's the fastest that ever happened.
It's just they're all gay.
Hatlaunch.com, baby.
You ever see Shane Gillis and Adam Ray?
Former Carolina Hurricane?
No, comedian. Oh. Does Trump and Adam Ray does Biden on Kill Tony. Watch that.
Really?
It's so
I was sending you Bobby Lee videos the other day.
Forever. Bobby Lee's funny as shit, and Santino. But I watched Shane Gillis is the funniest guy going with Adam Ray.
Yeah.
Who does Biden, and he does Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
It is brilliant, dude.
Okay.
Brilliant. Check that mug out called Kill Tony. Although Tony's a fucking nerd for some reason. Tony Hinchcliffe. He was great with the Tom Brady roast, but he's kind of nerdy to me. But Shane Gillis and fucking Adam, they are so goddamn funny, dude.
I sent Cam some Bobby Lee videos introducing him.
Mike, I already knew who that was. I know everybody, man. I got time to spend on things. Okay. I'm watching JFK Jr.
Right. Hatlaunch.com. Go there today. Again, proper cannabis. Cam and Strick 20. You'll save 20%. That's a damn good deal.
Stopping by there after this.
Cam and Strick
so you
20.
Know.
Shilly Landscaping. Turn your backyard into a absolute oasis.
The hanging gardens of Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
What kind of fruit would you want in your backyard?
Kate and I were thinking that.
Lemon tree or?
I would love a lemon tree. Hard to do. But I just want to keep it simple because we have so much deer and shit.
Yeah.
We'd have to put it on our deck. I would do tomatoes. I would do green peppers.
Those aren't trees, dude.
I'm telling you what I'm going to...
That's a garden.
I know. That's what I want.
I'm saying what kind of trees do you want?
Oh, probably none of those. They're too hard to deal with, I would say.
Yeah.
And we don't want to plant too many trees because we have such a beautiful view that we don't want to like...
You don't want to block the view.
We don't
when I was living in Hawaii...
Because we live in a beautiful area.
This one dude, these guys could try. They could climb avocado trees with their hands, and coconut trees actually. They could climb these coconut trees like a fireman pole.
Yeah, I know, Andy.
Incredible. And then they'd shake it and knock it down. You got to be careful because you don't want one of these to hit you.
What fruit kills more people than anybody?
It's got to be coconut.
You're damn right.
Those things hit you in the head, you're donezo.
Donezo. You know how hard it is to open those mugs up?
Oh, yeah, you just crack them on the ground.
No. You don't just crack them on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It will take
you can use a machete, too.
But if you try to crack that thing, you wouldn't be able to do it.
I've done it before.
Oh, you have. I bet you have. It's done everything.
Shilly Landscaping, man. Get there today. Or Shilly Plastering. Sorry. Shilly Plastering. Get yourself a new pool, man.
I think it's all... It's...
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
And then at Bellman Cam, you get no?
Swinging dicks. And you know what? Wintertime's coming, man. Check out those trucks. Check
Where
out
they,
the
where are they located?
Troy, Missouri. They got all kinds of
Chrysler,
options.
Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Cam's looking at that pink two-door.
Joke recycler.
No,
you recycle jokes.
Soft
dude.
top, flames on the side. And there's nothing wrong with it. A pink Jeep, 2 doors, soft top.
I'd have some cool cars back in the day, man. I've had some badass cars. 5.0 Mustangs, fucking.
Hell yeah, baby. I had a Mustang. I had a
Farmers.
1972 Mustang, my first car ever.
Mine was 5.0, 92.
Had a 350.
Hatchback.
Had a 351 inside it. You gonna maybe?
You don't even know what the fuck that is.
All right, man. We thank Swaggy P. We got some great ones coming. Subscribe to us and follow us on all platforms.
Follow us on YouTube so you can see us, baby.
I know all the news today is about the offer sheets. Hey, at the time we recorded, we didn't know.
You did a good job breaking that down, Andy.
Okay.
Andy's fucking good at that.
Peace.
Damn good. Love you guys. See you, dudes.